All right. So last time in Renascence, after escaping the possible retribution of the very creepy Willem Grimes, the party decided to head north, heading for Helmfirth. They hoped to speak with John's mentor, the guildmaster Bram Helton, who ran the local adventurers guild, talking about John's suspicions regarding Willem and his possible ties to the disappearance of Folk Claybrook, a fellow adventurer. Along the way, the party cleared out a small family of undead ghouls from the collapsed basement of an abandoned lighthouse, and later encountered Gerald the Watcher at a nearby campsite. Gerald proved amenable to traveling together, and the party convinced him to let them stand in on an offering he made to one of the Watch's more obscure gods, Belothamog, he who watches from beyond the stars. You all witnessed him brutally sacrifice a small fiend he had captured on the altar of Belothamog's hidden forest shrine, and after the ceremony was complete, you continued on your journey towards Helmfirth. So,
It was highly fascinating.
do we have any questions before we begin? You can certainly walk with Gerald.
Yeah.
He is on foot, keeping pace with the rest of you, just letting his horse carry his gear for the most part. So,
Question: when we address this guy's god, do we always have to say Belothamog, he who watches from beyond the stars?
Yes.
No. I think when you pose that question to Gerald, he'll probably just kind of chuckle and be like, "Nah, it's just an epithet. That's how he's known." But
Could we shorten it to Billy?
he actually kind of grimaces at that, and he says, "I don't think you want to confuse those two."
There's a Billy going.
Oh shit! Billy persisted through the campaigns. First confirmation of anything from the last campaign.
Is there a god out there named Billy?
And like, he sounds excited.
I only know one Billy, and that's Billy Bob.
There is something out there. Have y'all never heard of the cults of Billy?
Can I roll something for that?
Have we?
Sure, yeah. History check, religion check.
Oh.
I'm curious. I'll roll.
Oh no.
History, you said?
An 8.
Callback. I know. You're gonna learn.
With my jack of all trades, that boosts my 18 to a 19.
19.
Oh, shit.
You have heard the name before, yeah. You don't know a whole lot about it other than the cults to this entity have sprung up repeatedly over the course of Vargos's history. And every time they have been pretty closely tied to disasters, mass deaths, and on a few instances, portals to a horrible, ravenous void have been opened. The stories of the struggle to close these rifts are the stuff of legends. But you know, as odd as the name is, whoever this Billy is not an entity to be trifled with.
Huh.
Is this Billy a god?
Suppose so. I mean, he's got a whole hell of a lot of cults, and they keep cropping up.
Well,
What's so appealing about that? But I guess, every doomsday cult needs their figurehead.
merely asked because there are many times that cults have been associated with something that wasn't a god. Like, I knew a very small cult for a very tasty restaurant.
Yeah, Billy's not really into the restaurant scene.
Oh, no, I just meant as an example. So just because there's a cult doesn't necessarily mean there's a god behind it.
Right. That well, there's something there. I could very well not be a god per se. I'll be honest, it's not exactly my area of expertise.
Fair, fair.
They are definitely on the watches shit list.
Oh,
And
actually,
Lauren looks slyly at Gerald. Gerald and goes, "What is your area of expertise?"
I kill demons.
Fair enough.
Just looks over and gives him a thumbs up.
I actually have
Are you?
one more out of character question before we get into things proper here.
Sure. I mean, we're
Um,
basically.
I had in my notes, there's kind of some conflicting info here. So it said that apparently Gerald had heard of Vanis Theron, but then he also had no idea who Vanis Theron was?
He'd heard the name. Yeah.
Where did he hear can I ask, like, Gerald, you said you mentioned that you had heard that name before, but where?
It's come up a few times with the marshals and the watch. I mean, I know he owns land around here, and he's pretty keen on his privacy. So we have not exactly been welcome in the area.
That's actually very helpful, thank you.
You said you had a run-in with some subordinates of his?
Yes, a man named Willem Grimes and like 12 of his lackeys.
Hmm.
He said he worked
Yeah.
for Venice, but we didn't know much about that name. None of us did. And even Burberry said that lords aren't really a thing in this area.
No, they're not. He may be styling himself as such, but unless he's an expat from the Midlands, it's probably a self-granted title.
I see. Do you know if this man is dangerous in any way? Tied up in anything?
I just know he's wealthy enough to own some land out here, and he likes his privacy. And I've never heard of this Willem fella.
I'll be thankful.
It's probably for the best. We don't really get along very well.
They collect taxes.
Does he?
Do they? Does he?
Does who?
The Lord.
Vanis? I don't know.
I have my
I'm
doubts.
sorry. For a moment, I thought you were talking about a lord, and I was like, well, some lords take tithes, but
No, not that kind of Lord.
I mean, if he's calling it taxes, it sounds like a lordly thing. There's air quotes around that to try. If he's the landowner, it's probably his way of making rent sound more important.
Probably.
Of course.
I have one more tiny thing to interject. Since you said we're going to be, if I remember correctly, last session we ended with you guys travel safely for 5 days together to Helmforth or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
There's not going to be any random encounters on the way.
So, on this journey, I assume we'll randomly just kind of chat with Gerald from time to time, small talk. Do I get the sense
Sure.
that Gerald is a pretty like he's been around, you know, like Lythor and these continents, or like does he seem like he's traveled a lot?
I mean, if you're wanting to talk with him for,
Yeah, I
Sure.
figure. I mean, I would, you know, when we chat for the first few days, I would probably try and glean that.
Gerald definitely comes across as very well traveled. He is old. You pick that up pretty quickly. He has fought in the last incursion, which was 50 years ago, which is
Earth years or
that's Vargos years. That's
Vargos
almost a
years.
life for some races.
Damn.
And I mean, he's still up and kicking in this heavy ass armor with that big ass sword. Definitely a very experienced and worldly individual you're dealing with.
Okay, then probably like. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze. Wait. Nope, it's going away. Okay.
Bless you.
Sneeze in a French accent.
I know. I have not practiced that. I know Burberry was just itching to say bless you, but
You are right, I was.
no sneeze this time. No. If I could get like, if there was just a moment where like Gerald was walking away from the party, I would have a question for him that I want to ask, just kind of away from everybody.
Okay. I think Alord has expressed that she definitely wants to spend as much of the walk.
All right. Well,
Talking
while
to-
Lauren's off like peeing or something, in a brief moment of reprieve, like when Gerald's got a moment to himself.
Sure.
So yeah, I'd like to just go up to Gerald real quick and ask him a question. Gerald? Just a quick thing for you. You seem like you've been around Lythor and all over the place, really. Have you ever met a warrior by the name of Jade?
Let me just roll every dice I have to determine that, shall I?
You sound a little muffled, Derplip.
Yeah, I'm leading the way, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Jade. I mean, it's a common-ish name. I've known a few Jades. Do you have a
Jade, comme toi.
Camtois?
Comme toi.
Comtois.
Gumba? You want the last name of Gumba?
You're not there, Barnaby.
Not the best. Jade Comtois? No, I can't say that I have.
Okay. Thank you.
She a friend of yours?
Yes, she was a few years ago.
If I ever do meet a Jade Comtois, I can let her know I crossed paths with you back near Mold Coast.
Sure.
Plan to be here for long?
Do I plan to be here?
I mean, I could send her this way if I see her.
Oh, I don't know, to be honest. I was just kind of heading north absent-mindedly. I ran into some friends and, well, I ran into a friend and then that turned into this whole thing. So, I
I'll
don't
just,
know how long I'll be here.
pass it along then.
What's that?
I'll just pass that along then.
I suppose if you randomly run into her. Sure.
I mean, it's a small world. It happens more often than you'd think.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there's
So-
a Lauren.
Buttons,
He's coming back.
retying her skirt.
Hey, Noel.
Oh, hey.
Looks between the both of them.
I'm just gonna look from one to the other, stoically.
Oh, I'll leave you to your walk.
To you.
Alright, can we keep walking a little bit?
Sure.
Be like, wow, that's a mighty large sword you have there. Mind
But she means your dick.
Oh, come now. No need to be crass.
He was about to answer, and then Berberus pipes up, and he goes red. He says,
Oh no, I was just referring to your sword. It's a very beautiful piece of metal.
Thank you.
Apparently, I'm sorry.
Oh, Lauren's just gonna walk off sadly.
He's gonna lean into Burberry.
What? I didn't hear you.
Was she actually talking about my dick?
I mean, I think she'd be willing. You are quite, how jacked. Yes.
He goes rudder. Straightens up.
You want me to put in a good word?
He's like opening his mouth and no sound's coming out. Holds up a finger. Let me think on it.
All right, but do it quickly, because I might not feel the same way about it tomorrow.
He just kind of squints at you like, what the fuck?
What kind of game is this?
The fuck or not? Fine.
It depends on whether he takes the, yes, I'd like to take this further.
So, is there anything else y'all want to cover with Gerald before y'all arrive?
I'm just
in-
thankful that the
I'm
bard is not the horny one this time.
I'm gonna go to Laura and be like,
Laura, I think he's down.
Really? She blushes and looks over her shoulder at him.
He's just like very pointedly watching the two of you, and as soon as you look back, he's way too slow to like look away, like up into the trees, just like squirrels. Wow, what do you think? Just like,
Do you think I have a shot? I hope I do. He's quite handsome.
You know, if I were the type to go with things with dicks, that would be one of them.
Oh, Barry, don't make me blush.
I'm sure I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
all right.
Since we'll never see it in game, can we get out of character confirmation that Burberry is blushing or not?
no.
No. Okay.
Interesting.
And then I'll finish my trip beside Gerald again.
Okay, so you'll
I'll
kind of
sneak
give him some space, but before long, you're just kind of like back walking beside him.
back. Yep. I slink back.
I think like whenever they're walking, like Burberry will try and like give like the okay gesture or like thumbs up or something
Be like, that's a good look.
to Gerald's general direction.
Like, this man is very pale, so when he blushes, it's like fucking beet red. He's very, very flushed.
Or maybe I'll just be like, it's nothing. I just find you very intriguing. I'd like to know more about you.
Well, yeah, that you guys are also very interesting. I'll be honest, it's been a while since I've met a group quite like this. Kind of looks around, he looks over his shoulder at Burberry with a thumbs up. He's just like, okay. Very quickly looks away. So, great swords. You like metal work.
I do. It's a very fine work of art.
Thank you. The Presidium had it forged for me.
Oh, fascinating. Is it? Never mind.
I love him. Like, Burberry's like, go for it, girl. But then immediately it's just like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Oh, all right, let me back up.
Just third wheeling it.
Okay, so out of character, he was about to ask if it's one-handed or two-handed, and then decided that was probably better not to ask.
No, you should ask. Out of character, please ask, and then I'll give you that. Ooh.
Nope, sorry. He talked himself out of it.
It's gonna sound. We've seen him wield it.
Oh, have we?
Yeah, Plutz said we got in a fight with wolves or something and we kicked their butts.
Yeah, no. Y'all fucked those wolves up real bad. Like,
Right, because I was
no-
talking about
no
the actual sword.
Yeah, I mean, this is the guy who could chop a dog in two with like one swing. Very, very big, beefy
But is it
motherfucker.
two-handed or one-handed?
It is a two-handed greatsword, yes.
There's our answer.
Do you mind if I hold it?
He kind of chuckles. He's like,
Y'all need to get him room.
there are probably inns in Helmsfirth.
I think it's a little big for you, I'll be honest with you.
Be surprised what these hands can do.
The eyes go
I'm
wide.
just gonna mute my
Like,
mic so that I can laugh.
immediately beads on his forehead. It starts kind of pouring down his face. You got your line out. He's just like, oh boy.
Burberry's gonna kind of like slow down, so he's walking even with Noel, and he's just lean over and say,
I think we should tent a little further from them tonight.
Yes, that might be wise. If only they could wait just a few days. We're almost to Helmfirth.
I don't think that our friend's face could handle it.
It does look like he's about to explode.
Look at a tomato. Like an albino tomato.
If he starts to feel faint, we might want to like hold for 10 minutes.
We might want to walk behind him just in case he falls over or something.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
A bit of a head rush.
Gerald holds strong, damn it. He doesn't waver.
Constitution saving throw.
You know the DM. Stand down.
I know.
But yeah, so you're gonna be unabashedly hitting on Gerald, clearly. Tell you what, give me a persuasion check. Just to see.
An advantage.
wait, yeah, with it.
I mean, Burberry is wingmanning pretty hard.
River's also third wheeling it, so I think it cancels out.
No, he backed up. He's hanging with Noel now. He's letting them.
I'll just.
Oh, do you
I'm gonna leave.
want to save your inspiration? Okay. 18. So what's your charisma then, or your persuasion check? So add that to your 18.
Oh, I'm. Yes, I +4 bitches. It's a
Ooh.
22.
22. Get that great sword, girl. Fuck. Okay. So I will say this. Gerald does not sleep with you
That's
over the course of this journey. However, over the course of the trip, despite this initial flustering you fucking inflicted on him, um, you play it cool, right? And you're smooth about it. And over the next few days, like he kind of warms up to the idea that like you're testing the waters, you're seeing what's good, like you're interested. Um, and he doesn't outright reciprocate, but he definitely doesn't like shut you down. You know, like you can feel him kind of opening up a little bit. He's warming up to the idea. Um, so with a 22, we're gonna count that as some progress towards your
Bonification.
your romance for the campaign.
okay, huh?
Right. Okay. So anything else before Helmfirth?
I'm done.
I think I'm good.
Right. So
I think the next day Burberry apologizes to his crass behavior the day before.
you know what? Let's just call it bygones.
My sincerest apologies.
Really, it's fine. It's just that's it's been a while since anyone's talked to me like that.
I have to say that is a right shame. For you seem you seem like a highly pleasant individual.
I spend most of my time killing demons. It's that or walking. I'll be honest. The watch is not exactly a very widely understood group these days, and I figure it pays not to make that job any more difficult for myself or my brothers.
You gotta let loose when you get the chance.
Right. Yeah.
I love y'all, by the way. Anyways, out of character, y'all some homies.
I believe there is some part of me that says, "Get it, girl."
Sorry, that was a joke.
Was that out of character?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't help it.
That's fine. Alright, so aside from hounding Gerald about possibly fornicating, your travels are fairly uneventful. The weather over the course of this 5-day trek from the campsite is still a light rain for the most part. It is on the 4th day of travels that it kind of kicks up and gets very windy, very heavy rain, to the point where it's almost blowing sideways against you from out over the sea. Very unpleasant day of travel, that. However, thanks to the rain and the wind, you are left more or less alone. And on your 5th day of travel, around noon, as the sun begins its slow descent over the horizon, you guys find yourselves passing into what feels like the northern edge of the forest. The trees around you are beginning to thin out. You're starting to see shrubs and ferns spreading out more and more in their place. And, about half an hour later, those give way to prairie grass. And after that, rolling farmland. You see these wide, fenced off plots of golden grain, rows of trees bearing oranges and limes, long trellises of grapevines running down over the hills, and dotting those hills, farmhouses, barns, small clusters of buildings in there, and off to your left, a river winding its way northward alongside you out of the woods, glittering under the sun. And the road that you've been following begins to bend through these hills, kind of slowly snaking its way to intercept the river. And as you round the base of one of these hills, you see ahead of you a tightly clustered pack of pointed roofs as a settlement rises up alongside that riverbank. And John, you recognize that you guys are finally within a stone's throw of Helmfirth. Closest at hand, as you approach the town, there is this 3-story bastion of stone and plaster with stables alongside the road, a training yard set up with armored soldiers running combat drills. There's a pair of them standing out watching at the fort's gate, and as you walk by, they just kind of give you this solemn wave, acknowledging your presence, but not really moving any further than that. Beyond that fortress, you can see the town spreading out between the road and the river. There's this high dome downtown that you can see. The courthouse is clearly visible even at this distance. And nearby there is the telltale steeple of a town shrine. A few other structures near the town square rise up over their neighbors with thick black smoke rising from their chimneys. Clear evidence of industry. You can see lumber mills along the river north of the town. You can see across the town what looks to be a tent city. And further than that, probably 2 or 3 miles away on a distant hilltop, what looks like a secluded temple. And as you draw even closer to the town, stepping off of the highway onto one of the main streets of the township proper, you can hear the sounds of the day all around you, the creaking of wagon wheels, the clatter of crates and their contents, and the indistinct chorus of voices of the people of Helmfirth bustling about their daily business, living between shops and places of respite. There's a faint music in the distant downtown by the river. You can smell baked bread, grilled meat, wine, and ale wafting up from the establishments all around you. And you are now solidly in Helmfirth on the 32nd of Aerodath. It is now mid-afternoon. After 6 days of travel from Barnaby's hut, you finally arrived. What would you like to do?
So this is actually a pretty populous town, isn't it?
Oh,
It
yes,
is-
the word
it's-
could spread quite nicely
It's not like
here.
a village.
This is definitely town-sized. It is nowhere near the size of your hometown of Aelia, but it is definitely like a sizable town. Like thousands of people live here, and there's farms and vineyards all around it in the hillside that contribute to that population as well. So this is like a kind of a nexus for business in the area.
Can I ask John?
Not fear her at all.
John, where are the guild headquarters here?
I'm gonna go there a little later. I figured I'd drop you guys off at the orphanage and hoping Barnaby would make some dinner for everybody. Yeah, if you're willing, Barnaby.
Of course. To drop you guys off the orphanage.
We're not the
Well, I mean, I'm the only one that actually needs to talk to the guildmaster.
I think I'd rather spend my day in town square, thank you.
If you guys don't want to, you don't have to. I was just gonna ask if Barnaby would make. I was gonna give him some silver and see if he would make some food for the orphans.
Ooh, granted, gumbo does sound delicious.
I would not mind at least being present for the conversation with the guildmaster, if you don't mind, John.
If you'd like to come, you're welcome. I look at uh, Lauren. I was like, "Do I need to get you a hotel room?"
I think I can manage. I'll just walk around the square and taste all the goodies around.
Oh, maybe you can ask Gerald for a tour.
Gerald, have you been here before?
Yeah, I passed through here several times on the way back to Freeport.
Where's a good bite to eat at?
I'll leave her in your hands then, Gerald.
Guys, look. Okay, before we scatter the winds here.
We're all gone already.
So, Lauren, you're the only one who's here, apparently.
He like turned away for 2 seconds and looked back and we were gone.
I mean, I'll probably be like, as I said, I'm gonna be in town square. So if Lauren and Gerald stop by there, like I can pick up with them again.
So I'm gonna take Barnaby to the, I guess, and Noel to the orphanage. Set up Barnaby to make some food, and then me and Noel are gonna head to the guild.
Okay. So Noel and John going to Guild, Barnaby going to Orphanage, Burberry in Town Square, and Lauren and Gerald need to talk. So
Okay.
Gerald turns to Lauren, who is the only one who is stuck around, and he is going to say to you, "Well, shit. Okay, I mentioned this like a week ago.
That you have to keep going to Upper City?
Okay, you remember. Yeah. No, I figured, if y'all wanted to keep going to Freeport, y'all were welcome to join me. I could wait, a couple hours for you to meet with this guildmaster, but I do want to get back before nightfall. I would rather make my reports sooner than later. So, if you're not going to be in town for long, I can meet you at the north end of town by the road. But if y'all want to hang out, I think for now that'll probably be where we part ways. So
If I remember correctly, sorry to interject, but if I remember correctly, the plan was we were just going to talk to the guildmaster first and then give him an update.
right.
Yeah, I was just wanting Barnaby to make some food for the.
They're just gonna talk to the guildmaster, see what's going on, and then we can tell you and see if this is where we part ways. It should only be a few hours before we have a word of what's the plan.
Okay. Just everyone just disappeared like that. So
I think they were excited to be in the town again.
Yeah, no, I got that impression.
Telling you, you only have a couple hours. You gotta hurry up.
Yeah, just wanted to remind you. Didn't want you to feel like I was just dipping,
I understand.
like a schmuck.
I remember.
Appreciate that. Okay, well, yeah, Helmfirth. I'm gonna be honest. I never stop here.
Well, then, I guess let's use our noses and find the best grub in town.
And I could eat. I could definitely eat. It's been bread and cheese for a week.
I do like cheese.
I could use some meat. Let's see what we can find.
Some seafood.
It's probably like a minute later when he catches on. He's like, "Oh," he blushes again.
Okay, maybe.
Oh,
I'm not super. Wait. Icky. Um, about food in general.
Whatever you want. I'm not picky.
I
Honestly, I probably could go for a nice big steak because I've eaten a lot of fish in the past.
steak sounds great. Steak, and
Potatoes.
potatoes sound good. Some ale. Let's get some food. All right, so Lauren and Gerald are gonna go off and find some lunch. Okay. I'm going to roll a d4, and then we'll proceed to individual scenes from there. So
You guys aren't
Well, I
gonna
just
RP
need-
the next 2
I-
hours of date?
I just need to work something out just really
Ignore
quick before. Can you hear me at all?
What's
what's
up?
up?
I just need to work something out before. So if I'm giving John enough money to make food for orphanage, would like a gold suffice, or would that be a ridiculous amount? Or
Gold.
based on John's knowledge of how much stuff costs.
So a gold piece is worth probably like $100 in like old timey money, right? Like that's a good amount of money. Gold is a lot of money.
9 silvers, that would be enough for him to feed the orphans. Right?
5 silvers,
I said 9, but
9 silvers.
yeah.
You could definitely make a solid meal with 9 silver. Yeah.
Could I pitch in like 3 silver coins?
Yeah,
The
sure.
So I give Barnaby 9 silver and say, just have one of the older orphans go and grab whatever you need to cook.
Then I
I
guess
can do that.
I'll give John like 3 silver to help ease the cost of the meal.
Okay.
And like passing that on to Barnaby, or are you giving me 3 silver back?
So effectively, Barnaby gains 9, Aloran loses 3, John loses 6.
Thank you.
All right. So, first scene from the bitch is going to be number 1 would be Barnaby. All right, buddy. So, John is going to escort you to the orphanage. And the orphanage is actually a pretty big building. It's on the north end of town, sort of off towards the edge, kind of by its lonesome. You can definitely see that there are there's fields around here and farmhouses, and what looks like the beginnings of like some expansion of like the main street was kind of building in that direction, but has more or less been stopped and hasn't been touched for years, maybe a decade or more. So you just have this large, probably 3-story, like 2-winged complex. It's a pretty big building. I actually have the name of it here. The Strong Foundation Orphanage, and you can see this kind of decrepit plank wood sign hung up over the front door, which is actually like a set of 3 double doors. This is a big building, and as you guys walk up, you guys can see kind of playing in the dirt, outside and in the bushes and running around in the fields nearby, like tons of kids. Just all manner of children. You see human kids, elf kids, dragonborn kids. You see half-orc kids, not unlike John. You see like one little teenaged tiefling girl who's got kind of this dark gray skin and the beginnings of these kind of stubby little horns poking out of her hair. It's a big place, and it's got a lot of residents by the look of it. And as you guys walk up, a few of them look up and see John and kind of wave before getting pulled back into their game. and you guys make your way up and into the front door. And stepping inside, you can hear kind of echoing from both sides of you as you step into this big atrium, the sounds of children's voices echoing through the hallways. This place is very noisy. It's not in the best shape. A lot of the furnishings are old. Chairs are kind of on their last legs, some of them propped up on books or bricks. There's kind of a long table in the center of the atrium with just tons of mismatched chairs set up. This has kind of been turned into like the makeshift dining room. And there's kids sitting at the table. They've got scraps of parchment and charcoal, and they're scribbling, and some of them playing with these ramshackle little toys, falling over the place. And in the midst of them, there is this. Oh, this is very intense.
I was gonna say, it's music in the midst of the orphans.
Let's get that one real quick.
The demon spawns.
There we go. In their midst, there is this one lone middle-aged woman, elvish features, kind of tan skin. She has this fairly like matronly demeanor to her, but she looks tired. She looks very tired and worn down. And John, you recognize immediately this is Dady, the caretaker here. She has been tending to this place for longer than you've been here. And she has always done her damnedest, despite the very, very meager amount of help that she gets tending to this place.
So I can put it in the character log for certain.
Yeah. So, Daedi.
Daeti?
Daedi, yeah.
Yeah. That's pronounced Dady.
Dady Summerbreath.
You said that was the like one of the caretakers in this place.
She's like the primary, like,
It's called a matron of the orphanage.
yeah.
I call out Dady. I'm back a little bit early.
John, welcome back.
You remember me telling you about Barnaby, right?
This is Barnaby. Hello. Hi.
I point out Barnaby not much.
She, excuse me, not he. She wipes off her hands from what she was doing and kind of shoos one of the kids away who was in the midst of collecting a bunch of locks and getting her involved with that. She steps up to you, Barnaby, with a hand out. It's good to finally meet you. John's had a lot to say about you. It's good to put
Well, that's good to hear. I hope he's done spun a tale about me.
He has had nothing but kind words about your cooking, actually.
Where's Kate at?
Cade, I think he's out in the yard somewhere.
Then go to the door and holler out, "Hey!"
And very distantly, you hear this voice respond, "John,
Get on in here.
we're playing. I'm it.
Get in here."
John, I'm it. Damn it. Fuck.
You have to obey the rules of tag.
Time out, guys." And you see, this kind of swarm of kids all kind of collectively groan, throw their hands up as Cade peels off and starts running up to you. Says, hey, John, you're back
On the side.
early.
Yeah.
You alright?
You remember me telling you about Barnaby's cooking, right?
Yeah, the hobgoblin, right?
Yeah, he's gonna be making you guys dinner tonight. I need you to get some food for him. So whatever he tells you to get, you run and get it, okay?
His face immediately changes. He actually looks pretty excited about that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What do you need, Mr. Barnaby?
Oh, all right. You got something to write it down on? We got a little bit of a list.
I gotta go meet the guildmaster. I'm gonna leave this to you guys, okay?
I can. You know what, Mr. Barnaby? I can remember it. I've got a pretty good memory. I can remember whatever you need me to.
All right. We're gonna need shrimp. We're gonna need crab. We're gonna need corn, potatoes. Let's see, celery,
Corn, potatoes, celery,
carrot,
carrot,
onion,
onion,
garlic.
garlic, shrimp, crab, corn, celery, carrot, garlic,
Oh, of course, okra.
okra. What's an okra?
Let's see.
No crap.
Did you get rice in there too?
Sometimes I put rice in there. No,
Sorry, Cat knows how to make gumbo, so Cat's asking.
Daddy, I'm gonna leave this with you guys. I gotta go and talk to the guildmaster.
I don't always put rice in mine. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. You know what? If they got rice, I'll put it in. But if they don't, they don't. Yeah, I'll ask them, Jib. Make sure you also get some brown sugar if you can,
Brown sugar. Okay.
and any peppers you can find. Just any peppers.
Okay. Yeah. Spicy then.
A little bit. That's what brown sugar's there for. To help give you a little bit of sweeten the heat.
Okay.
Like a kiss right before she punches you in the gut.
Right. I think I can remember all that. He will list it off. I definitely can't. My memory's not that good. But Cade was listening very attentively, and he is able to parrot back that list to you without issue.
All right, you go on and go get that.
All right,
I'll
got
make
it.
it for you.
He's the money, Barnaby.
All right, here you are.
Oh. I mean, you literally just hand him just like a lot of silver. He's like, okay, yeah, we're cooking for everyone then.
Oh yeah. Don't want to have anybody going hungry.
Sure.
Not
Okay.
around me, at least.
I'll be back before the hour. Daddy can show you the kitchen though, get you started, and he will he'll immediately just run off for town and past all those kids who are, they start yelling at him, but he very quickly just waves them off and keeps running. He's
All
gone.
right. We're gonna have a good stew before long.
So Barnaby is going to get situated, cooking in that kitchen there. Anything you want to do at the orphanage, or do you just want to get started on your meal?
I think Barnaby would wipe away a tear at all the people who don't got family.
Aw. A lot of kids here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Noelle's definitely having a hard time keeping it together too while she's here.
Yeah.
Unnoticed, Noel tearing up.
Well,
Is Noel?
I don't want to be crying into the gumbo. That would make for some salty gumbo. No one wants that.
I guess is Noel tearing up, or she?
I think it's more just she gets very quiet while she's here. Nothing drastic.
Interesting.
And,
Change
oh well, we're gonna go talk to the guildmaster. So.
Okay.
Alright, let's go.
With that, then we'll move on to the next scene. Either John and Noel or Burberry. And that looks like it's going to be Burberry. Okay. So, Burberry, you are in the town square.
It's
What
really
do you
not.
want to do?
It's not gonna be much of a scene. I'm literally just gonna set down my spare hat and start telling the good word of the god of versatility and adaptability.
Okay. So in the town square, there is there's a city hall. It's one of the biggest buildings in the square. In the middle of the square, though, there is this large oak tree that is growing beside that town shrine that you guys saw as you were coming in, the steeple of it. And it's this large kind of open air pagoda structure. It's got a wide, high roof that rises into this very tall, pointed steeple. And inside it, there is a statue to one of the new gods that is clearly visible from the outside. And there's candles lit on these standing candelabra.
Do I know about this one?
Casting a warm glow on it. I think you recognize it pretty quickly, considering you've talked with Barnaby and Aloran about her pretty recently.
Oh, this is Alyss.
This is Alyss, yes. You are looking at a shrine to Alyss Vetus. This is her nature aspect. It's this probably like 8-foot tall statue of polished black stone that is streaked with this green crystal. And she's got, long hair running down the back, this, drapery sort of gown that's kind of clinging to the form and pooling around the legs. And in her hands, she's got this cornucopia full of grapes, fruit, wheat, all kind of etched into the stone. And sitting before her, there is this large altar with a number of bundles of wheat and bushels of apples and other fruits set up, offerings that have been made to this goddess. Just sitting there.
Oh, in that case, I will stop by a shop and pick up a small offering of my own to offer to her before I begin.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's important to pay attention to the deities that are there already.
This is fair. What do you want to do?
Are there any, fruit vendors or...
There are lots of little farmer stalls selling various locally grown produce. You could easily get your pick of a wide variety of fruits.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll get enough that what would be a small a bowl's worth of things.
Okay. Let's see. If we're talking a hefty portion, not a ton, not bulk size necessarily, but enough that you're not half-assing your offering.
Yeah.
I'll say that you could probably do that for 5 silver. Done?
Fruit's expensive.
Got it. I mean, if you want a big offering size portion.
Well, it's 9 silver to feed an orphanage.
And it's 4 silver to give a decent offering.
You can reduce the amount if you want. You can.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Because I... Come on, if anybody's going to give the appropriate amount for an offering, it's gonna be a cleric.
Just based off of what you said, that's all I'm going off of.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can afford that.
Right.
It's cool.
That's fine. All right. Sorry.
I will also light an incense.
Incense. Okay, that's fine.
Because I have it.
Yeah. As you are making your offering, you are probably going to be approached by this elderly, elvish man, long gray hair, freckled. Clearly spent a long time out in the sun, wearing these fairly simple green robes. He'll kind of step up beside you and make a holy sign to the statue and turn you. Say, welcome to Helmfirth, stranger. Not sure I recognize you, but thank you for your offering. What brings you to our town?
I'm honestly just passing through. Greetings to you as well, brethren.
And he touches his homely symbol as well. I think current. Yeah, he's where he has the symbol for his versatility god on.
He gives you a nod, but he also kind of squints at the symbol. It's like, I'm not sure I recognize that one.
It's one of the newer ones. I was actually hoping to preach a sermon in the square, but I'm not sure if it's bad form to do it in front of Our Lady.
Are you associated with the Conclave?
Yes.
Oh. Well met, brother. He'll extend a hand. I am Yinan. I am the shrine keeper here.
Okay, gotta write things.
How do you spell that?
Yinan.
Y-I-N... Wait, what?
Yinnan.
N-N-A-N. Okay. Shrine... Okay. Sorry, could you repeat your last sentence?
Oh, just that he is the shrine keeper here in Helmfirth.
It is a noble profession, indeed.
You are too kind. I am simply here to do my part as best I can for the community. I confess I have not heard any word of a new conjunction, but that is good news. I'm honestly surprised now that I think about it.
Well, to be,
I don't actually... Kat does not know if these two have been conjuncted yet. I don't think they have.
You are confident they are not.
Okay, cool. Just to be...
if I'm being honest, they have not been conjuncted yet. I do know that they are out there, but they, it's a very small sect, you understand?
I see. Curious. Well, I suppose there's no harm in it. What is his name?
Well, today I will be discussing Bojlig. He is the god of versatility and adaptability, because every situation is a bit different and might require a bit of flexibility in one's patterns to be able to work your way through your issue, right?
Bojlig. You can see him thinking for a moment. He's kind of reflecting. I suppose there's no harm in it.
Well, for instance, Alyss is an absolutely amazing god to worship. The having that ability and desire to learn new things is fascinating. However, you wouldn't really want to pray towards her when going to war. You follow?
Well, we don't see much in the way of war here in Helmfirth. Truth be
Or
told.
whenever you're dealing with any sort of fight with your friends or foes.
I suppose not. She is a patron of the community more than a personal guide, you could say. But
Nicely.
I take your point. I suppose there's no harm in it. You, by all means, I will be around the shrine if you do have any need. And if you'll be in town long, he'll actually kind of gesture out to the west of town. There is a convent not far from here, the Sun House. A few of our brothers keep the old mission there. If you'll be around for long, they'd appreciate a hello from a fellow brother of the cloth.
I believe I'm only going to be in town for a few hours, as it were. But if I have a spare moment after my, I can't quite call it a sermon because it's cat does not remember the word
Proselytize.
proselytize. Thank you. Perhaps after I am done proselytizing, I might be able to make it over there if time allows.
You are very devoted to your mission here.
One must be devoted and never do anything hard ways.
That is a fair ethos. Well, the square is yours. I don't see any other competing prophets about. Just stay respectful, of course, of Our Lady here. And
The synergy of the cosmos must be maintained.
of course. If you are looking to really flex your muscle, there is an entertainment district by the river that could probably use some very intensive guidance.
I thank you for your knowledge.
And he does like that polite like half bow,
Sure.
kind of awkwardly, but he tries his best.
He, I think you'll see that Yin kind of catches the hint that, like, yeah, you're probably not gonna touch that. He's like, of course, just a thought. Never mind my.
No, it's just again time crunch.
No, of course. Please, by all means. I wouldn't want to keep you from your holy work here. I should return to the shrine.
All right, off I go.
All right. He is gonna just kind of stand and watch, a slightly puzzled expression on his face as you head off to find your corner of the square to start your speech. And a moment later, kind of turn back to the shrine, shaking his head, and begin tending to the candles and the incense. So.
I was just trying to say goodbye. I wasn't trying to give it like.
No, it's totally fair. And he's got his own stuff that's kind of spinning at this point now. So that will.
What does I roll?
For your sermon.
Yeah, because I'm also taking donations.
Okay. Either religion or performance.
That's an 11.
11.
Yeah, I think he talks and he's like it's kind of dry.
Okay.
Like there's not quite as many jokes in there as he's had previously, and then there's also like a couple of like awkward pauses, like where he's trying to figure out what word he's trying to like come up with.
Sure. I think that it's a passable presentation of your patron here. I think passersby kind of stop to listen, but after a moment more, they kind of keep walking, and then you kind of start getting in your own head about it, and I think that starts to kind of mess with the presentation that much more. There's just something about that interaction with Yin
I feel like I failed.
Kind of eating at you. There was like a weird level of suspicion almost. He was very gentle about it, but you are kind of like thinking it over, and it's just like he doesn't feel like he fully approves, I think. And I think
Did I approach it the right way? Maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this at all. Maybe I should have gone to the other district. Maybe he was trying to tell me to get lost.
And it just kind of spirals over the course of your speech, and you just kind of start to kind of peter off. it doesn't feel great. But by the end of it, you look down and there's like 3 copper pieces in your hat.
Yay!
You had a couple people, like some coins while you were kind of wrapped up in your own thoughts. Not a total failure, but definitely a little on edge.
I relate to Burberry's social paranoia so hard.
He's trying.
So that is what Burberry is doing right now. So we can jump to Noel and John at the guild hall. So making your way across town, John, you lived in Helmforth basically your entire life, and you are very familiar with this settlement. It does not take you long to reach the guild hall, and approaching it, Noel, I guess, or see for the first time this massive 4-story complex. It's this large square building, and you can see kind of in the middle of each wall, because you're kind of approaching at a corner, multiple archways kind of leading under the 2nd floor into an interior courtyard. There's smoke issuing from that courtyard, and kind of stepping inside of this structure, looking out through the archways inside, you can see there's a smithy built into that courtyard. There's training yards that has been set up, and there are a handful of people kind of sparring and running drills here. You do see walking through the halls and kind of around this complex a number of individuals, humans, dragonborns, a few dwarves, all wearing kind of this piecemeal armor, mismatched leather plates, scales, and chain. Some adorned with weapons, others carrying staves and the like. All clearly mercenary adventuring types. And in this sort of open air hall, there is sort of a tavern set up. At one end, there is a bar and a number of tables set up. At the other end of it, opposite the bar, there is a counter with a large notice board set up beside it. And you can see on that board a number of postings. Clearly job requests that have been brought to this establishment. And over that billboard, you can see a large sign that reads HH and N, Common Auxiliary Association. So, you are at the guild hall. What do you want to do?
Receptionist at the... No, I'm gonna look for the bartender, actually.
Okay, so you head over to the bar.
Yeah.
Okay. So at the bar, you find a dark-skinned woman with long, curly gray hair. She kind of turns to you and she says, "Ah, John, welcome back. Who's your friend?"
It's Noel.
A pleasure to meet you.
Noel. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, is Bram?
Yeah, he's in his office, same place as always.
I just need to make sure I need to go talk to him.
Yeah, well, that's where you'll find him. Good talking to you too, John.
Sorry, I'd stick around for a drink, but it's kind of urgent.
No, that's fair. I mean, did you find folk?
The grave look shows up on my face, and I said no.
She kind of grimaces. Fuck.
I may have found the one responsible.
Well, it's not nothing. You'll want to hear it. Up the stairs, you know the way.
Stairs to the Guildmaster's office.
Okay. So you make your way up the stairs along the interior wall of this breezeway and make your way down the hall. Noel, looking around, you see that there are a number of rooms in this facility. There's what looks like dorms, classrooms, small libraries, offices. This place seems to be pretty busy and very, very lived in.
Just
And
like
you make
it-
your way up to the fourth floor. What's up?
Is this like the medieval YMCA basically?
Kind of get that vibe to it, yeah.
Interesting. That's an interesting take on adventuring guilds. I like it.
Yeah.
Guildmaster's door. I want to do the secret knock.
Reserve the racquetball court.
Okay, so you get up to the fourth floor and make your way down the hall to the guildmaster's door, and you knock.
Secret knock.
Okay, you do the secret knock. What's the secret knock? I just heard one.
Just one knock is the secret knock.
Oh, could you only hear the one knock? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. After a moment, you just hear, "Well, are you coming in or not?"
I push open the door.
All right. So you open the door and you see sitting behind a desk is this balding, not balding, he's totally bald, shaved head, wiry man, piercing blue eyes, clean shaven, dressed in this muted red frock coat, this like old military formal coat. He's got like a gold cord over one shoulder, and then this ornamental steel spalder over the other, with a logogram kind of engraved into it. He's got a handful of medals pinned to the breast of this jacket, and hanging on a coat rack next to his desk, there is this wide-brimmed cavalry hat and a saber on a belt. And this is Bram Hilton, the guildmaster. Says, "Oh, John, you're back. You're back early." Stands up, comes around the desk.
Yeah, some things happened.
Who's your friend here?
Oh, this is Noelle.
How'd
Met
you-
her.
Well, good to meet your acquaintance.
She's a part of this whole reason that I'm back already.
Okay, all right. Well, have a seat.
All right.
Both of you.
Yeah, except for this.
So what happened? I wasn't expecting you back for at least 2 weeks,
Yeah.
if not longer.
So, first part of the journey was dead. Nothing happened. I got to Barnaby's.
The Hobgoblin?
What?
The
Yeah.
Hobgoblin.
Yeah. I got to Barnaby's, and this one, Noel, and several other wanderers were there, which was not unheard of for Barnaby's. He was having a pretty good day. That's when things turned weird. Well, so Barnaby had mentioned before that he paid tax, but he never mentioned who to or anything like that. But it just so happened that the tax collector, and I do this with like quotes, came while we were all there in the middle of the night to collect his taxes from Barnaby. And some things felt off. So,
So what
I tried,
happened?
well, and then can I just describe what happened?
Okay. And he
During that
listened very
encounter.
attentively.
I'll chime in what I know too, like how I saw the badge that was super fake and stuff.
Okay.
Vanis Theron before?
Have I heard of him?
I've never heard of him, so
The name's come up on occasion. I've never met the man. I don't know hardly anything about him.
apparently he's the lord behind this grime dude.
I highly doubt he's a lord of any kind.
Apparently he's been collecting taxes of the people in that area, including Barnaby.
Kind of raises his eyebrows. Well, sounds like he's blowing smoke up his own ass about it. But
Well, the thing was that the group seemed not small,
Well
and it seemed like they were I don't know. It felt like bandits, honestly.
he felt like they were what?
It felt like bandits were posing as tax collectors. Was what it felt like.
You think this Willem guy is a bandit?
I have a pretty big suspicion, and I think he could be connected to Falk missing.
Okay, let me back up here just to make sure that I have this straight. This guy shows up, asks for taxes. You charm him, have dinner. He leaves, and you took off.
The charming happened because he was basically threatening to destroy Barnaby's shack if he didn't pay up.
I get the implicit threat taking place there. I can see where that may have come across.
We didn't want to fight them.
How does this tie to Folk? Is my question to you. Because at no point in this story did I hear anything about Mr. Claybrook at all.
True.
He kind of leans forward over the desk and like squints at you. Like, did you come back here on a hunch?
Came back here because I felt like there were too many for me to handle myself, and if I went deep into the forest to investigate, it would be dangerous to go by myself.
Did they start a fight with you?
They would have if the Grimes dude wasn't charmed.
Okay. He's gonna lean back in his chair and kind of take a deep breath and look at the ceiling. Okay.
Want me to go and just ignore them?
Look. What you've brought back to me is almost nothing, John. You met some shady guys on the road, and
From the ghouls that we killed?
do what?
I said, did I mention the ghouls that we killed on the way back?
Were they tied to Willem?
No.
Okay.
They were at that abandoned lighthouse.
Well, glad you didn't get eaten by ghouls.
Didn't feel like leaving Barnaby all by himself to deal with this dude.
I'm not faulting you for helping your friend. But this is not actionable for me. This has gotten me no new leads on Folk. You think this guy is tied to it. But from what I hear, there's no evidence to go on. And if this guy is working for a local landowner, if I'm to mobilize people here and move against this man with nothing, that's not good, John. I can't do that. You know, I've already got the local paper asking me about Folk. They went to his family. They've actually got a story out now. Came out 2 days ago. The only thing I could give them was no comment, because I was waiting for you to come back.
Path that leads into the forest, that's likely the path that they're taking back and forth to their hideout. Do you want me to go into the forest by myself against a group of bandits?
What do you want to do, John?
I came back here to find out if you wanted to send reinforcements or send an actual scout instead of a giant lumbering person into the forest.
I'm not going to send a task force.
I didn't say task force.
Rush this guy's house.
I didn't say that.
On nothing.
That's not what I said. I said, do you want to send a scout, someone that doesn't stick out like a sore fucking kraken?
Watch your tone, boy.
Or send a couple of people with me that could maybe give me backup in case I get in a fight with a giant group of people.
If you think this man is involved in Volk's disappearance, I need more evidence before I can do anything with that. Because right now, it's just a hunch.
And came up along the way, all the way to Barnaby, so the only other option I would have had would have been to go all the way to... What was the name of that town?
No, Handlar.
Handlar, with this information to a guild leader that I don't know. And what if nothing can happen on the way? This is the only thing in the region of where he disappeared that sticks out.
Right now, John, it's not enough for me to involve the guild. Not like that.
So don't do it, or don't do it as a part of Folk going missing. Do it as a bandit investigation. Send a scout out into the region to look into it.
Sorry. The man says he's working for Vanus Theron, and you want me to accuse him of banditry.
I didn't say accuse nothing.
You want me to go in there under the pretense of investigating this man for banditry.
Investigations are necessary to determine guilt or innocence.
I apologize. I know this is not my place, but there were crimes being committed. I mean, false collection of taxes. It's not like nothing was going on. And it was very clear that force was going to be used if Barnaby was not going to pay up. And even if it's not tied to this investigation that John was on, it's not a good thing to have on the road.
Was he coming after you or your fellow traveling compatriots?
If I had not intervened, I firmly believe that things would have escalated to violence.
I am sorry, man, that you did get wrapped up in this. Let me lay this out. This is what I see happened. Okay. This individual, shady as he seems, working for Vanus Theron, who is a known landowner in the area, came to Barnaby looking for rent. He's calling it taxes, calling himself a lord. Sounds like bullshit. But whatever. Call it what you will. He comes to Barnaby, a resident on his land, looking for rent. It doesn't sound like he asked for any from you. Doesn't sound like he was trying to shake anybody else down. As far as I can see, there is no clear crime that has taken place. Clear. Now, I'll grant you, it sounds shady. But I need more than just shady. Now, John, if you would follow up further on this, maybe.
I'm not going to involve a bunch of wanderers in my investigation out of nowhere. And as I said, I don't feel safe going in there by myself.
Okay. Well, if you're uncomfortable pursuing this hunch,
By myself.
then he'll kind of hold his hands out slightly, not apologetically, but trying to almost smooth the tension in the room. If you are uncomfortable pursuing this hunch yourself, I will see what I can do to discreetly get some more information. As I said, I can't move on this. Not openly. Not unless there is clear evidence that this man is tied to Folk's disappearance. If he abducted Folk, if he killed Folk, if he robbed Folk, hands untied. Let's take him down. But right now, all I'm hearing is this guy was kind of an asshole, muscled in, treated your friend like shit. But as far as I can tell, hasn't done anything criminal. Nothing I can pursue, at least. If he's holed up in the mountains, up in the Fairwood, and he's got a posse of men going after him for assault, say, a fool's errand. He makes himself vulnerable, say. We can question him, get his side of things, follow through on that end, but none of that has anything to do with Folk, as far as I'm hearing. Let me put this to you, John. Do you want to stick with this? Or do you want me to get this to somebody else?
I have some backup. All I'm asking is for just maybe even one or two people. So I have backup.
He kind of fidgets uncomfortably in his chair. As I said, I can't give you that right now, John. He's looking very pointedly into your eyes as he said this. I can't make that happen. Kind of glances from you, John, to Noel. Then back to you.
So I can ask Barnaby if he feels like assisting, since it's directly affecting him.
Barnaby's not guild. I have no say on what goes on in his life, one way or the other. But I personally gave you this assignment on the behalf of the guild.
Straight up fight, just
Look,
a couple of bandits try and rob me on the way there. I'm good with doing that. If it was even a fight against like 5 or 6 bandits, I'm good with that. I just don't feel comfortable doing it by myself, going into the forest and their territory when they've got like 12 to 20 people.
I was probably the right call. But like I said, as far as what I can do right now, it's not much. The assignment the guild has given you, God, the guild. The assignment that the association has given you still stands. All I've asked is that you find folk.
Continue the quest.
So, given the nature of the assignment, I can't dedicate any more manpower to that, especially if, as you say, this needs to be pursued deeper.
I will see if I can find some evidence, or if I don't find anything, then I guess I'll move on.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the update, but I hope you can turn something up soon. His family's not very happy with us right now. So,
Sorry, John hasn't mentioned it to us, I assume out of respect for his family, but can you share anything about what happened to this folk?
well, that is kind of the problem. We don't really know what happened to Folk. He was dispatched to help transport a shipment of goods from Helmfirth to Handelar along the Fairwood Road. The delivery should have taken no more than 30 days to complete, there and back. 30 days passed, he never came back. So we sent John to follow up and see if he could ascertain, one way or the other, what happened to Folk. That is as much as we know.
I appreciate the info. I wish I could help more.
Barnaby's doing a cook it, making a feast over at the orphanage, so we're find me for the next couple hours.
I didn't catch any of that. What was that?
Oh, I said, well, Barnaby's making a feast over at the orphanage, so you know where to find us for the next couple hours. I don't really know what's going to happen after that.
All right. Well, I guess take the night to recuperate in town, and keep me posted on what you plan to do next.
Send word once I decide where I'm going.
All right. Well, thanks again for the update. Good luck. Again. They'll stand up and round the desk and over to the door.
As we're being sort of escorted out, I'll stop for a second at the door and say,
If we helped John on this hunch he has, would there be any potential payment for us?
Well, if John had managed to find folk, there would have been a small commission due for his work for the guild. 20 gold pieces was the agreement. I think we could review that in the event that this incident turns out to be more serious than we initially estimated. So, yes, if you are intent on helping John, we would be much appreciative and happy to compensate you for covering one of our own.
I just don't want to see him stumble into something larger than himself.
Neither do I. But I can't send people in blindly.
I understand. Thank you.
I'll head out.
You will close the door behind you.
Question.
What's up?
Does John have to duck every time he walks in the building?
Into the building, no, but in the doorways inside the building, probably yes.
Alright.
He is very tall.
So John has to duck in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, yeah, probably.
Can confirm.
So,
I guess we're heading back to Orphanage.
Yeah.
okay. I think as you guys are making your way through town, Aloran and Gerald have, by this point, probably finished their meal and are kind of walking and talking through town and catch sight of you guys. And Gerald will kind of flag you guys down. So, looks like you guys just wrapped up in there. What's the plan?
He's got a not very happy look on his face.
I wish we had better news, but things did not go amazing.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh, it's really none of your guys' business. If you guys want to move on to Freeport, I'm not going to hold you back. This is my quest.
I think we should have everyone here before we get into this proper. Maybe get a meal in us first.
Yeah, some part of his cooking sounds pretty good.
It does.
Shit, are we eating again?
I told you Barnaby was making food at the orphanage. You guys go out and eat?
Yeah, we just got steak and potatoes. I wouldn't
Tom looks at him, winks, and says, "Did you get some seafood as well?"
Yeah, so sounds like you guys might be staying in town for
You just put it out.
Honestly, I personally am probably going to be heading back to the forest. I back the way we just came from. So I do want to thank you for joining us on the journey, though.
We'll kind of look to you, Lauren. Well, suppose I'll be heading for Freeport then. Yeah, if you guys are ever in the area, Presidium is it's a fort on the southeast corner of the city. You can see it from the ferries. It's hard to miss. I'll let the others know if you stop by to maybe take a message or call me or yeah. Yeah, no, by all means. I actually, I had a thought. I was wondering if you would maybe be willing to do me a favor
Who was he talking
to the group.
Are we all together again, or just?
It's the three of you.
Oh, okay.
Where did he say he was from? The
Freeport.
Freeport. Well, no, he mentioned a specific place in Freeport.
Oh, the Presidium.
Okay, thank you.
to? What's the favor?
I have been looking for a particular item for a somewhat stupid amount of time. But if I can find one, it would really help. It would help the watch
What is
a
the-
lot. It's like a magic mirror. And I know that's not a lot to go on, but that's kind of the extent of it. If you come across, magic mirrors of any kinds while you guys are traveling, I would love to have it, or at the very least hear about it.
What kind of magic?
It's called a tranquil pain. It's it's an old device. The watch could see the world in that mirror, and it would show us when and where someone or something moved between the planes.
That sounds useful for the watch.
Yeah, it made our jobs a lot easier back in the day. But
What happened?
well, when Illyria fell, Anagard was not very keen our order of sticking around, but we figured our work was important enough that we were willing to make some sacrifices to appease them. So the story goes that we turned over way more books than we should have, way more armaments than we should have, and among the things that were surrendered were a number of those mirrors. The rest of them, they say we broke in protest. I'm kind of hoping there's still one out there. I'll be honest, it's a shot in the dark. But if there is one squirreled away, it would really help to have back. So,
Oh, we can keep our eyes open.
yeah. I mean, if you hear anything, if you find one, shit, it would it'd be good to have a lead. So, yeah, just Keep me in mind.
Can do.
Yeah, I bet you will. He does kind of smile at that. Yeah, that was it. I'm gonna go get my horse. I think I'm gonna try and catch a ferry before they shut down. So, you ever been down this way? Any of you?
Shake my head no.
All right. So about a day's walk.
Freeport?
John's been to Freeport. Yeah, you know, you just take the road down to Oak Hall, take a ferry across the bay. It's like an hour by ship. It's like an extra 2 days if you want to walk around the entire fucking thing. So the boats are the way to go for sure. Stick to the road.
So Freeport's only like an hour boat right away.
So, Woodhall, the town, Woodhall, the port, is like a day's walk up the road. If you've got a horse, it's a lot faster. And then from there, you catch a ferry, and it's like an hour by ferry. It's not far. It's a lot faster than walking to Freeport because you got to walk the whole way around the bay there. The nuisance. And the Presidium, you can see it from the ships. So like you're looking at the coastline, right, as it's coming at you, and like all the way on the far right hand side, facing the ocean, that's the Presidium. So I'm gonna go catch that ship. So it was good traveling with a lot of you. Pass my regards along to Burberry, Barnaby, those two. God, I'm never gonna keep their names right.
The Beanabees.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever y'all end up doing, safe travels. Be careful out there.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah, of course. You too. There's a faint smile on his face. And with that, he is going to turn and make his way down the road back to where his horse is tied near that inn.
Gonna let him go without jumping his bones?
Sometimes good things have to wait. Hopefully.
I mean, his sword is two-handed, especially for someone your size.
No, well, should I chase after him? I don't know what to do.
I think patience is key here.
Okay, that's what I thought too. I understand.
Get some Barnaby's cooking.
All right. So, y'all head back to the.
Oh.
He was thinking about it, but yeah, he needs to go. It's getting towards the end of the day, and if he wants to catch that last ferry, he needs to fucking. So.
You just gotta catch him once he's in Freeport.
Yeah. So, sorry, so nervous with that king will bite through your tail. Yeah. Okay.
Get right.
It is almost 10, so we can break here, be back at like 10:05,
Okay,
and y'all can make a decision about what y'all want to do over gumbo. Sound good?
cool.
All right.
Always sounds good over gumbo.
Alright, stream's up. We're live.
My social security number is no.
No!
111-111-0.
Okay.
That's even the
So,
wrong number of numbers.
reconvening.
Ah,
The party is regrouping after kind of doing your own thing for the afternoon. Back at the orphanage, the sun is starting to set, and Barnaby has put together a delicious gumbo dinner for a lot of people on a very tight budget. So it's a little watery, but the components are there, the flavor's good, and you got a lot of happy kids chowing down all around you guys as you guys kind of sit down at the end of the table and have an opportunity to talk amongst yourselves.
I'm glad you were gracious enough not to force him to make a roll to see how good the gumbo is.
Hey kids, I'm making you a meal. I roll 2.
I mean, we can if you
I'd
want.
rather have
It'd be fun.
gruel.
It sucks. Burn the gumbo.
They tip the pot, chase after Barnaby.
I give it a 1 out of 5 stars.
You would absolutely take the pot and go running.
That's the last we ever saw of that crazy hobgoblin.
You know, I was doing good. Then I ran out into the real world and I made the worst gumbo I've ever made. And I just was like, nope, that's enough for the real world.
Chased out of town by orphans.
Going back to what's left of my shack.
Not my finest moment.
So, y'all are enjoying gumbo at the end of a long table full of hungry orphans chowing down on gumbo. What's the conversation?
Out of character. I miss him already.
Barnaby.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Based on my discussion with the guildmaster, I'm probably going to be heading back the way we just came to investigate the group that was collecting taxes. I say with quotation marks.
Yes.
I would feel a lot more comfortable if I had some backup, but the guild has said that they cannot sign anyone else because it is not enough information or not enough evidence. So since this directly affects you, I was wondering if I could persuade you to assist me in the investigation.
I only got one question. Well, maybe 2. We'll see how far this one gets. 1. Does he need to be killed or captured alive and brought back?
First thing is to determine if he actually is doing something illegal. Second thing is to determine if he had anything to do with the disappearance of my guildmate. That will determine the answer to that question.
All right. And just say, let's just say he is criminally responsible. What happens then?
It depends on his amount of forces. If he has too many forces for us to take down, we can return to the guild with the evidence, and then a suppression force will be sent out. If he's not responsible, or if he doesn't have too many people, and we think we can take him, then we can take him alive or dead. Doesn't really matter.
Don't we already know that he has too many people?
It depends. We know that the group he had with him at that time was too much for us to take on, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're always with him.
Barnaby extends out a hand. If we can catch him alive, we got ourselves a deal.
On money.
What?
Ron shakes his hand.
All right. We got ourselves an understanding.
Does this mean we're going to have to backtrack all the way pretty much to your shack? and take that side road that we found.
I hope that Shyamalan has no interference in your time.
Oh,
Patron of plot twists.
That's not a nice patron, is it?
Not everyone is nice.
I imagine him and oh, what's her nut?
What's it not?
I do not know a god of what's his nut.
No, not that. What's her name? Can't remember it again. No,
Alyss?
forgot.
Alyss?
Alice, yeah. Imagine her and Alice probably would get along just fine.
I'm guessing you're not a very devout follower.
We got an understanding.
That is noted.
Lauren, didn't you say you had to go to Freeport?
I do.
What are you doing up there?
I need to report back to about what happened.
Would it be possible to go up to Freeport and then come down for the investigation, or do we have to jump on the investigation immediately? Look,
Not-
Noel, are we even going on this investigation?
What?
I wasn't planning to ask y'all since you're not really involved.
As much as I hate to admit it, I think it does involve me to a degree that is maybe not comfortable. I mean, he knows my face and he knows my name, and he has reason to dislike me. And I don't know if I just want that floating around forever.
That's true enough. It's not. You said Freeport is like a couple hours to the ferry and then like an hour on the ferry.
It's a day on foot to Woodhall, the town, and then an hour on the ferry.
So we'd be extending by another day.
Minimum.
Well, no, 2 days.
2 days, yeah, sorry.
Well, would it be faster to go back to Barnaby's shack by ship rather than or boat rather than on foot?
Would it be faster?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know how the speed of boat travel is on the
I
coast.
mean, with good wind, yeah. It's gonna be more expensive.
I can
Steps.
get Coleman to a horse and we can
You can gallop for an hour.
gallop for an hour.
I don't really have a way to expedite the trip. I do think that we should go to Freeport first. We're so close, and Alora needs to go there anyway.
It means that you are willing to accompany me on the trip into the forest. I guess I can wait a couple of days and go with you.
Once I report to the Green Wardens, I should be able to help you in any possible way. I just need to let them know what happened.
I'd
Same
better get
problem
everybody
with that.
figured out first.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys are willing to help, I don't see a problem extending the trip a couple of days to free up whatever you guys need to do in Freeport.
Lauren's going to look into his food of gumbo and very sadly goes, "We could have traveled with Gerald."
And did he leave already?
Yes.
Perhaps we could still visit him while we are there.
I think that is a guarantee.
To be a boss.
If not,
Sure.
there's plenty more fish in the sea.
I'm sure we can spare some time for you to get some bones.
It's both.
It is very crass to call them bones.
Is it?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I grew up in an orphanage. I wouldn't know that.
Then you are saying that around children.
Yeah, right next to you, John, a couple of kids are just kind of leaning over to each other like, they're talking about boning!
So, I'm sorry. Your understanding of how much they understand is very lacking.
I
They know just about as much as most like 20-year-olds.
just
So everything. It's what they think, at least.
Burberry, I don't want to drag you into any additional danger that you're not tied to.
Well, in all honesty, I feel like traveling with companions would be more interesting than traveling alone. Plus, how to say this, you guys are more understanding of my peculiarities than most people.
He puts an empty bowl of gumbo on the table, which is weird because you didn't actually see him eat it.
Didn't eat it.
It's empty.
Just imagining there's a couple of kids across the table like, magic trick.
Yeah, Barnaby, there is one kid maybe like 3 seats down. You kind of look over and he's just been staring at you like the entire meal. He's like 6, like fucking crazy messy red hair and freckles. Like 2 front teeth are missing. Just mouth agape, just staring.
Hello? Anybody in there?
Huh?
Keep staring. You gonna say something? Or you want to get into a staring contest? I'm pretty good.
How'd you do that?
I do what?
Him points at Barnaby.
Burberry.
Burberry. Y'all chose this.
What? What you talking about, boy?
This is exactly what I mean.
He peed up his soup. He drank it with his. One of the kids next to him like slaps him on the arm. Shut up. Yeah, I saw it.
Peter, what are you doing over there?
I will happily continue to travel if is all right with y'all, but I think I would rather go outside if that's all right. I'm not good with children.
Get proselytized to them.
More like they tend to pull on things and touch, and
Or we're gonna get up and walk out.
I believe so.
Once they get below a certain age, it turns into indoctrinate.
You go, Mater, you scared them
I'll
off.
push away from the table and make their way outside, and that little redheaded kid just keeps watching the whole time. He walks funny.
I'm calling him Mater.
Later.
Yep.
I hope his last name starts with a D.
What?
His name would be Mater D.
Mater Dumpling.
Oh. I see. I didn't get it because Matra.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Good
I get it now.
joke.
Anyway, it sounds like we have a plan.
Yeah, I guess it sounds so. I think.
I'll warn you all, I'm
Um,
not exactly much for combat. I mean, I have this sword, but
I mean, do you have any enhancing abilities or anything
oh well.
that can help us in combat?
I've been told my works can be rather inspiring, but and I know a little bit of magic, obviously, but I tend to avoid direct confrontation when I can.
I can handle most direct confrontation.
I could handle a little bit.
If I transform, I'm pretty good. I can be a shark on land.
I look over at Lauren and I was like, wait, you can transform?
Yes.
I'm sorry to say this. I don't think you can actually turn into water critters yet.
So we talked about this. Since she was a Triton who grew up in the ocean,
Oh, okay. All right. Never mind. Oh.
really wouldn't make sense for her to turn into anything else.
Sorry, I forgot.
No, yeah.
Also, water critters aren't going to be super helpful on land.
There's also that.
That was the joke.
I don't know. I think it would have been real handy if those tigers were tiger sharks.
If you guys need me to do reconnaissance, I can just turn into a crab in the middle of a forest.
I was wondering, could you just turn into a fly?
So flying is outside your wheelhouse right now.
Why
So
you don't get
it can't be a fly. So it can't be a flying creature.
Yeah, you can do it.
Okay, I'm gonna turn into a cat.
What kind of cat?
My precious baby kid.
Okay, so Lauren just kind of like hops up onto the table, and as she like sets her feet down, like her body shrinks and contracts into this small, gray striped cat with little white chest and nose, little pink paws.
Oh.
She kind of flicks her tail.
And I start brushing up and purring.
I would pick her up.
One of the kids like waddles up, like
What kids are gonna do?
picks you up in a big squeeze.
I just
And the kid just totters off with his cat.
and I'm over here.
And that was the last we ever saw of her.
The child eater.
One by one, we're losing people.
I think the general mentioned that he was rushing because he wanted to make the last ferry for the night. So I think either we head out and camp out near the ferry or at the place where the go out to the place and wait for the ferry tomorrow morning, or we leave tomorrow morning and try to catch the midday ferry or something.
Well, it's a day's travel. I see. I guess we could just camp. But I don't know if I'd want to start traveling after dinner.
That's what I'm saying is, do we want to travel now or do we want to wait till tomorrow morning?
Let's wait till tomorrow.
You hear a cat yowling in the back.
Small child, do you think you could possibly put that down?
A kitty.
It is a very pretty kitty, but it doesn't seem to want to still be in your hands. You can still possibly... You
John
can
walks-
still possibly pet it if you put...
John walks over and the hands are
I thought you did.
No, you said
John-
food and I was just yowling.
Oh, okay.
Don't eat.
John's gonna walk over and he's gonna be like, trade for candy.
Say that again?
I
John
said John's gonna walk over to the kid and be like, trade for candy.
Roll persuasion with advantage because it's candy. Candy's like 3.
I have a +2 to that. Oh god, the first roll is not good. Second roll was great though.
Okay.
So it'd be 21.
21. He immediately drops the cat and reaches his hands out. Gimme, 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 gimme.
I just
The candy.
jump onto his shoulder.
Onto John.
John's shoulder.
Damn, it's a whole jump.
Cat!
Takes a few
crouching
bounds.
down. I'm crouching down to interact with the kid.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
So I jump onto his shoulder and then I just stay there. And I'm just like,
John has a tiny gray kitty wrapped around his neck.
Thank you, John. I am... No.
Just absent-mindedly scratches her behind the ear.
purr.
Okay.
Is that a cat?
And then I jump onto Burberry.
So Burbo, as soon as you land on him, like almost buckles, like totters very dangerously. there is not a lot to stand on.
It's something new today.
Just heads up. You're like clutching the outside of this robe like tightly around the neck.
Oh dear. Cat. That's a cat.
I'm just
Oh,
purring and
oh,
rubbing
okay.
my head.
Against the mask.
It's the mask.
Good kitty.
And he does like the scratching behind the ears with his like stubby little claws.
Oh, cats like that. They love that. And so I'm like, yeah. That's nice.
So,
After that, I'll just go back to the table and take my little seat.
As a cat.
What? Yeah. Take a bath. No, I'm just kidding.
just one leg straight in the air, just cleaning away.
I'll just go back to the table and like back to like my.
Okay.
This is what happens when you have like tiny bit amount of strength.
A bunch of kids are just like, whoa, when you do that. Like, dumbfounded. And the little redheaded kid is like staring at you now, like, holy shit. So, is there
What
anything-
time is it?
It's dinner time, like sunset. So is there anything you guys want to do before bed?
I had one small thing, if nobody else has
Okay.
anything. Once, I guess the hecticness of dinner is done, and like the kids have started to retreat to their own circles and play groups or whatever.
Yeah.
I would like to find any kids who are working on like something creative, like drawing or singing or painting or whatever. If there's any groups that are working on stuff.
Not a ton in the way of paints here. I think there's definitely kids who have like charcoal drawings. They've got like bits of old firewood that they're using to, draw on scraps of parchment in the walls and stuff.
Are like actively drawing, or you just I just see that there are drawings.
Both. You do see lots and lots of charcoal graffiti. Much of it's smudged. But there's also kids that are actively drawing as well.
Okay. I'll just go up to like one table where some kids are drawing, and I'll kind of stand over them for a second. I'll say,
Oh, what are you working on?
My dad.
Your dad.
What's the drawing depict?
It is a very crude drawing of a knight with like a grill mask, on his visor, his helmet. He's got a really crooked sword and a way too small shield, stubby little legs.
And he's holding the shield with his hand and not his arm.
Yeah. And next to him is this big, like, janky snake with like a wing sticking out the back and like big muscly arms.
Wait a minute.
What is that exactly?
A dragon.
I don't know if there are many of those around here. Where's your dad from?
My dad's a knight. And he went to go beat up that dragon. And when he's done, he's gonna come back.
My heart.
Oh no.
Like 5.
Can I sit down?
Yeah, okay, you can draw there. And he'll like snap his little shitty piece of charcoal in half and hand it to you.
Oh.
You know,
But not here. This is for my dad. He like wraps his arm around the drawing.
I would
and
not
keeps
think
going.
of it. No, I've never been much for drawing.
I'll just start like kind of sketching just random, scenery and what yeah. I'm not Noel's not much of a drawing artist.
That's fair. He'll kind of look over what you're doing every now and then and be like, "You have to do this shading," and he'll like scribble on your tree and then go back to his drawing.
Alright, good. So you have a good eye for this.
Yeah, it's important. It makes it jump out off the table.
Oh, I can see that's what you did here. And I'll gesture to us.
Yeah. That's how you know it's real.
Well, thank you for the advice. What is your name?
Bert,
Bert? I'm Noel.
hi Noel. You're okay at drawing, huh?
I like to do different kinds of art. I do a little bit of writing, and
I'll gesture kind of on my pack where there's my lyre, and I'll say,
I do a little bit of music and singing sometimes too. Do you ever do those?
We have like clapping songs and stuff like that. I don't know how to play an instrument though, or write.
Well, you can speak common pretty well.
Hey, yeah, I can. With a big smile on his face.
Well, would you be able to teach me one of your songs? Maybe I could play it.
Okay, but first I'm gonna finish my drawing.
Okay, I will finish mine too, and then we will play.
Okay. All right. So you guys do some drawing, and then later he'll teach you one of his little nursery
yeah,
rhymes.
I just want to hang out with the kids basically and sing songs for them and stuff.
Okay. I think you probably get a pretty decent sized little group once you bust out the lyre and start playing. Because they do not get music here very often. It's a very rare thing. And I do think that as you're doing this, the caretaker Dady, like catches sight of this and gives you like the warmest possible smile she can at that distance, just like, thank you so fucking much for what you're doing.
I'll just give her a nod. I'll keep on. I'll play them songs from Alia and some in my home language and some, and you know, I'll go with the folk songs they teach me and the stuff they know.
Mm. Okay.
I would. Oh, sorry. If you're studying.
That's it.
I'm done.
I actually would like to talk to John.
Approve,
I was curious. How long have you been here?
So I was born.
Oh, very young then. I can understand. Having an adopted family has always been interesting. Do you remember your folks?
I was dropped off here right after I was born, and they left.
So the lady over there is your mother. How long are you planning on staying here? Will this be your forever home, so to speak?
Planned that far ahead. I just kind of was making money to help support the orphanage. To do that, I was doing quests for the guild, and I guess I figured if the guild got in good standing, that I could leave one day, but didn't really think about it.
I feel you have a noble and loyal soul.
And he just kind of like he does that you know, like those nods of understanding that people do when they come to their own conclusion.
Sure.
Yeah, one of those.
Okay.
It's good to have home turf, I think.
It's a very
Would be
limited
nice
interaction.
Would be nice to see some of the rest of the world, though.
Well, when I was your I do apologize. It's a bit hard to tell age across some races. You're younger, right?
Yeah, I'm only 18.
Which is
Uh,
like 10, I think.
Oh, 9.7 in the ghost years.
Yeah.
He's a 9-year-old.
When I was in your maturity level, I found that exposing yourself to a large variety of possibilities for your life to go into was a fascinating prospect. It might be good to get out and see the world. Though you must do it on your own terms, of course.
I don't want to set up the. I want to make sure that the orphanage is at least self-sufficient before I leave
Yeah.
very far.
It would make sense. It's also good to know that you will always have family to return to. Be it the children that are here now or just the one who raised you. You always carry a bit of home. Apologies, I don't mean to get all, what's the word?
It's a bit different with a family like mine because people leave and people join every week. So, and people grow out of the orphanage and leave to go start their own life wherever they decide to go. And unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, I don't know. We get new family members every so often.
It's good to have family, but having the ability to spread your wings is vastly important. And places like this serve a purpose in allowing people to find themselves at their own pace instead of letting harsh reality of world kick in too soon. Sorry, it might seem a little bit storybook sappy, something or other. I myself was adopted. Though not at a place like this.
Yeah, this is the how this place came about. I never looked into it, but you don't really have any homeless children. Anybody that's I got a family who lives here.
Thank you very much for helping deal with the cat. I appreciate it. Sorry to have bothered you.
You mean a Lauren?
That was a Lauren.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Why
Well,
would you do?
Nothing. I'm a little surprised. I didn't know she could do that.
Oh yeah, that's pretty surprising for all of us.
Sorry, what was that?
That was a bit surprising for all of us, I think.
Oh, well, I will have to make note of that. That does oh dear. Okay. Thank you very much. I'm gonna go set up my tent now.
See an
Thank-
orphanage?
I think I prefer to be outside. I'm not quite used to being indoors anymore.
Okay. Well, there's land around back of the orphanage. You can set up a tent around there.
Oh, thank you so much.
And he sounds like utterly relieved.
I'll tell the kids to leave you alone.
Thank you. No, they have a pleasant evening, and it was nice talking to you.
Yeah, it's good talking to you too.
And I yeet!
Alright. It's a break for the day, or for the night, I guess we should say.
Tell all the little kids that if they disturb the tent in the corner of corner of the lot, that a dragon will eat them.
Oh. I think I had to drink soup with his stomach.
He's got a
So-
pet dragon that he sticks on anywhere that messes with him in the middle of the night.
It's just stare at you wide-eyed when you tell him this.
Don't mess with him.
Okay. So, if that is everything for the evening, then you guys can bed down and awaken the next morning. Today, it's a nice sunny day. No rain, clear skies, beautiful weather for the first time in like a week. It's pristine outside. Anything y'all want to do in town before heading out for the ferries?
So, wait, Lauren, let me get this straight. You had the entire time of lunch yesterday, and you didn't tap that.
Unfortunately not. No, I think he's a bit shy.
Oh,
Gotta
heavens.
grab him and you gotta throw him down.
Why do you think we're heading to
Maybe
Freeport?
mighty, but he is very large.
And you just gotta jump him.
That would
It's-
not well for me.
I mean, he does have a two-handed sword. Sorry, what was that, Noel?
I said, why do you think we're heading to Freeport?
Oh, how exciting! Oh, I can't wait to see how that progresses. Lauren?
And he looks like he's about to put his hand on your shoulder and then changes his mind. He's like,
Lauren, I fully support this. You get it. You get it good. You got this.
What a great priest.
Hey,
There's
Hey,
gotta be a god
hello,
for that.
voice in the sky. Gods of lust are a thing.
I wish all priests were like you, Burberry.
Oh, thanks. That's very nice of you to say. You know, you're so supportive as a friend. Admittedly, I was kind of iffy on you at the beginning, but now,
It's okay, I understand. I was not in a very pleasant mind state.
understandable. You did look like you had been through what's that large thing that you put fish through to pull their spines out?
I don't. I try not to think of things.
Save?
I'm sorry. That was probably wildly inappropriate. No, that was definitely inappropriate.
I didn't know there was a machine for that.
it's not a machine. It's basically like a stick that you stick a fish on and just basically shove the whole skeletal structure out the front. It's very gross.
I know what you're talking
John is gonna leave word at the bar or with the bartender. He is heading to Freeport first, and to George Barnaby's location.
At the guild hall, you mean?
Yeah, he's gonna leave that with. He's not gonna disturb the guildmaster, but he's gonna leave that with like the bartender to give to the guildmaster.
I never did give you her name. That was Annie. So
And
let Annie know about.
he's just gonna hand Annie like a slip of paper and like, hey, if the guildmaster asks, this is my plans.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I can. If anyone asks, I'll pass that along. Stay safe.
Before we leave town, can I just restock up on rations real quick?
Yeah. Sure.
How much?
Rations, I believe, are.
Because we traveled for 5 days, which means I am out.
Yes. If so, since
Catch
you
food
go,
on the way.
Barnaby, was there any soup left over?
y'all
And
ate.
so I'm still down there.
Y'all ate the soup well, okay. When you were traveling, you didn't eat rations the first night. And then for the next...
The next day, we also ate the leftover gumbo, and then we had 5 days of travel, you said?
I believe so, yeah.
So that's all my
Also,
rations.
There's also the big old hog or whatever.
Oh, there was
we
the
got with
turkey.
Turkey, that was it.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, it's been 6 days of travel, so 4 rations.
So I've got 1 ration left.
Okay. Yeah. So
See rations.
Rations do I have?
Would
Where do you
be-
see your rations? Oh, there it is.
I just have them in my inventory.
I've used 4 rations then.
Presumably.
I would like to buy like a lot of rations. It should last me a while. Can I buy like 10?
So I'm down to.
you should be down to 6. Okay, so a ration is shit, where's the weight? A ration is half a gold, so 5 silver.
Silver for 1 ration.
Yeah.
Can we just feed an entire orphanage for 9 silver?
It was real watery.
Also, rations are like prepared meats and stuff too.
Yeah, it's like travel food, like real high quality travel
You're
food.
paying for it to last.
Yeah, it's been very well preserved, like salted meats, cheeses, hardtack, nuts. I think the kid would probably tell you later that I chipped in a little bit of my silver too, just to make sure we made ends meet. So dinner was more than just the 9 silver. But you are only traveling for a day to get to the ferries, for what it's worth.
Get
Okay.
food in. Yeah, so I won't. We can stock up on the way back.
I meant from last night. Was there any leftovers from last night?
No, definitely not. No, those kids would have fucking cleaned that out.
Well, that's all right. It was a fun thought anyway. Leftovers for breakfast is always amazing.
Yeah. So how many rations are you getting, Pete?
I'm just gonna put myself back up to 5, which is what, 2 gold?
It'd be 2.5.
How was? No, sorry, I
It's
need to buy 4.
Oh, okay. So yes.
I was like, there's no way it's 2.5. It's impossible.
Sales tax.
Gotta pay those taxes.
You also
I thought all I had was silver. I was like, bitch, broke. I'm good. Holy shit.
you got some. Okay. So everyone has re-upped what they're upping. Ready to get on the road. Travel onward to Woodhall. So, leaving town, you find yourselves again surrounded by verdant countryside, orchards, grain farms, vineyards in every direction. In the distance, both to your left and your right, east and west, you can see mountains rising up. And to the north, as the land slowly kind of descends, you can see stretching out this wide open bay. The river that runs alongside this town winds its way ahead of you and opens up into that bay. And you can see it kind of expanding outward into this marshy, almost salt marsh area. And the road kind of winds close to it. There's a bridge that runs over the river before it widens. And at that point, you're able to see that there are a number of like small villages and settlements along this delta. And there's all of these large salt ponds that have been dug out along the delta that are just these wide, shallow pools of very brightly colored water, pinks and yellows and oranges.
I would like to investigate this.
Also, you said that they're marshes, right?
It's very like wet ground, lots of standing water, kind of like the flow has very much died down from the river.
Aloran, if I might ask, how are you at frogging?
Probably
Yes.
pretty decent at it.
Mm.
I live very far out in the ocean. Not a lot of swamp
That's fair.
expertise, but I have
Wait,
my
wait, does that mean you haven't had frog legs before?
No, I
I have frog legs.
Barnaby, my man, you want to try for frog legs for lunch?
I got some bait for catching frogs.
Yes.
You want to go frogging?
Can
I
go
am
frogging and
all
learn
game.
frog?
Okay. This is gonna take time. Just letting you guys know.
Lunch. God, lunch.
All right. How long do you guys want to try frogging here in this marsh? It's just kind of a wide open expanse of standing water and like clay and sand and these salt pools that have the brightly colored water, right? No trees, no large plant life around here.
Sea frogs.
Give me a perception check.
I mean, I can speak from experience
This
because
is
no. As long as there's still water, frogs will happen. I have so many frogs that happen at my house. The area floods a lot.
16.
16. Okay.
I want
So-
to help with the distance.
So you
Yeah.
have advantage. So
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah, you can roll twice.
16.
16. Nice. What's your perception?
Yeah, that was.
So with the 16, I will say, at a glance, you don't see any frogs necessarily, but you do see herons that are currently wading through the shallows, fishing. And you see their heads occasionally dart down, come back up with a fish, come back up with some prawn, some shellfish, a crab here and there.
Aquatic animals.
I think as a Triton, you might be able to. That would be in your features.
I think I can. So can I just like tell the froggies to fishes to come here, come over?
Hey, come here.
Hey, come here, buddy. I'm a little baby.
Up in the Triton. Keep going. The aquatic beasts have extraordinary affinity with people. You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water. They can understand the meaning of your words, but have no special ability to understand. In return. Okay, so yeah. You can talk to aquatic creatures. They just can't talk back. So,
So
what is it that you want to do?
here, and then I'll tell Barnaby to throw out the baits. Food, come here, food.
Okay, and you're just kind of calling out to the marsh. Okay. Give me a persuasion check, and I'll give you advantage because Barnaby does have bait.
I do got bait.
This is a good day.
Any day is a good day when you're out with family.
Oh, that's
22? Fuck,
so
okay.
touching, Barnaby.
You guys kind of like get down off this bridge and kind of wade out into the marsh a little bit. And you make this display, and you see rustling in the reeds and ripples in the water as like fish start swimming towards you. You see crabs kind of like digging themselves up out of the sand and like shuffling along under the water surface. And you see some frogs swimming along, making their way towards you as well. There are some herons kind of off to the side, kind of watching this, and they kind of start wading towards you, like curious, because they see all this activity over here. There's like 2 or 3 of them just kind of watching, just like eyeballing you. But the frogs and shellfish and everything are all going nuts over this bait that Barty's thrown down. Like they're having a good time. They seem happy.
I feel so bad.
What you gonna do?
I don't think I'm gonna pluck any of them because like the sense of like I tricked them like sets in, and I'm like I'm just like I'm an awful person, and I like walk out of the marsh.
I hate to say this, but isn't Alyssa part of your like repertoire? Trickery's partially her thing.
It is, but these are my people.
Well, absolutely no offense meant to Lauren, but your people are delicious.
Try.
Also, isn't nature all about give and take? Eventually, we'll return to the ground.
You get to try. I'm like a fucking lobster.
God.
Sorry.
Lauren's having a fucking identity crisis right here.
She's had a rough month, okay? She's all over the place.
But Barnaby, do you have a net?
What?
A net.
Oh yeah, I got one.
Do you have a net?
Yes.
Oh shit. Alright. So you want to try and net some swamp critters?
Yes, indeed. I got a fishing net. I got fishing tackle. I got my luck and fishing lure.
Okay. So we can do this two ways. You can either make an attack with the net, or we can make a survival check as like a just kind of a hunting prowess
I have a
thing.
high survival. I can prove that for you.
Sure, gotten over your betrayal.
Yep. I'm 50-50 right now.
You capture them and we'll deal with them. How's that?
Alright, so I'll
Okay.
Yes, we can sacrifice their tiny little lives to the Raven Queen.
15.
15 plus survival.
15.
Okay. Let me see here then, real quick. What is the frogs?
Is she doing it with advantage because she definitely has help?
That's fair. There's all the fade out and stuff.
Oh.
Frog's got a dex of +1.
Okay. With a 24, yeah, you. Damn it, Tenzin. He just knocked something on. Oh, it's that fucking plant. He's been doing that.
Why?
He's a dickhead. Second time today he's done it.
It's because he can push it off easily.
So,
See, do you hear him calling him an asshole like all the time?
I thought you said dickhead.
He's a dickhead, asshole, little shit, piece of shit.
shit, fucking dickhead, cat, bullshit, fucking shithead. Fuck you, shitty cat.
This is it. This sums it up.
Also, Plant 10 minutes later. Why doesn't the cat like me?
He doesn't speak English. He doesn't know.
Oh, they know.
400.
Maybe you've been speaking Druidic and he can understand you. He just can't respond.
If I have Druidic, I should have other powers, and I'm mad about it, but I don't.
Maybe just a crappy druid.
Maybe. With a 24, gotcha. With a 24, yeah, all those frogs and prawn and everything that are just like chowing down, just scooped up in that net. And all of that joy and cheer at the food that you just gave them, frantic scrambling, to no avail, because they are now trapped in a fishing net. So it's just this flailing, wet, squelchy noises coming out of the net as you haul it up for Barnaby and Burberry.
It's a good thing they can't respond.
Please don't say that right now.
You can't speak with animal.
I do not want to speak with animal right now. If she was having a crisis, she'll really be having a crisis, okay?
So, you guys now have a net full of swamp critters. What do you want to
Don't
do?
you worry. It's just like nature intended. Bones will go back to the wildlife out there, sponsor or get more growth after it. So it's a good thing. That's nature.
You have been doing this like for the past week with or 2 weeks ago with Barnaby.
Yeah.
So
It is the cycle of life, yes.
y'all want to break for lunch here?
It's the cycle of life.
And it feeds us all.
Yeah, we'll probably set up a makeshift quick camp just to make some food, I guess.
Okay.
Feeds us all with tasty frog legs.
Yeah, if you want to. Okay, here's the thing. Drying meat takes time.
Yeah, like I said.
It's gonna be nasty fucking backpack by the time you're done.
Can't we just like let it hang out on like the backpack while we
Yeah, if
walk?
you're wanting to dry meat, okay. There are salt pools nearby. I'd say you could probably like salt them and like hang them off like the bottom of your packs if you really wanted to try and dry food.
I'm just thinking for rations.
Yeah,
Shit's expensive.
that's fair. Go ahead and give me a survival check because there are salt pools around here that you could go and gather some from.
Ooh, 10.
10. Okay.
It's really
Not something that you've done a lot of since most of your food is caught underwater in your life. Yeah. And it's already very salty. So salting food on land, not something you're super versed in. I'll say you're able to get like you salt most of them, but like later you're gonna like try and eat them, and they're gonna be just way over salted, except for like a handful of them. So you'll get like one good ration out of it. But some of them are just gonna be like fucking nasty.
Why
Just
doesn't it do it all?
well, you're attempting to make more, but you're only getting the one out of it. So that while they're cooking, you're doing your thing. So one ration out of that. Meanwhile, you guys cook up some frog legs and prawns and fish, and sounds like
We had a good fucking meal.
a tasty meal.
I
Oh,
feel
if you
less
watch
bad.
them while they kick, like they'll kick whenever they're dying.
You
I think
watch
they just kick whenever they're being alive. I think they just like to kick.
Oh, that's true too.
They're just standing over, like staring into the pot. And Lauren's just like holding her head, like I can't do this.
You know, technically, if all four of them limbs is legs, wouldn't that mean they're always kicking?
I'm just gonna go
No, the
and
front
my
ones are still
daughter
arms, I think.
Yeah.
contemplate my life decision.
What are John and Noel doing while this is happening? Well, Swamp. We watched this episode.
I was
of
just
Swamp
standing
People.
on the bridge watching all this go down.
Okay.
I'm gonna just go stand by Noelle and I'll be like, Noelle, I must confess, I feel like I did a horrible thing.
I'm a bad druid.
I feel bad.
Weren't you doing this with Barnaby for like a week?
They were so excited, and now we're eating them.
Well, yeah, you did lie to them. I'm sorry, I'm not being much help.
Oh my god.
Christ.
The circle of life.
This is a beautiful thing. I love this party. So, hour and a half later, y'all have a delicious meal of this Barnaby prepared seafood and continue on your way.
Yes.
Could I get Constitution checks from the group, please? Because taking the time to go swamping and then cook has put y'all behind.
Constitution saving throw or Constitution check?
Check.
20? Unnatural.
Unnatural. Okay.
9.
Just no, just a check. So just your Constitution bonus. It's on the other side. So a 20 and a 9.
16.
16. Okay. I need Barnaby and John's.
I'll
I
get a
don't
10.
want to talk about it.
A 10 from
Bad
John
roll.
and bad from Barnaby.
That's
Okay.
an 8.
So, unfortunately, that is 3 failures and 2 successes. You guys try to hustle to make up the time, but you kind of realize, like, oh shit, we're gonna be late for the last thing before sunset. We gotta go. But y'all just ate this big meal, so half of y'all are cramping and like trying to run, and you have to stop and rest. And it's like, oh god, why? Oh shit, oh we fucked up. By the time you reach Woodhall, the sun has set, and the ferries have shut down. So you will need to get the first ferry in the morning to Freeport.
Fine. It's as long as we stay steadfast in our plans, we should be quite all right.
You are in Woodhall, safe and sound, and you did have a delicious lunch.
Very Sturk.
So,
Kirk. Who's that?
what do you guys want to do about lodging for the night? Do you want to find an inn, or do you want to camp out somewhere?
I'm happy camping out.
I camp.
Hampton's fine.
Okay.
And
So,
Sturk is the god of steadfastness
Oh,
and stability.
Sturk.
Sturk.
So you guys kind of rushed into Woodhall trying to make the ferry. So your run-in was not very like detail oriented, as we skipped it. So catching you up, Woodhall is sort of an industrial port town. The approach up to the city, you do see there are a lot of cattle ranches in the area. Pens of cows, very stinky, not very pleasant. There are tanneries on the outskirts of town nearby, butcheries, and when you get to the, I think it's the Gibbous Quay, or Gibbous Key, excuse me, Quay, the major wharf for the town, there is a pretty significant construction project taking place there. What looks like railroad tracks are being built along this wharf. You can see that there are numerous ferries docked at the wharf and done for the night at this point. And there are many dock workers that have been, loading and unloading cargo all day and working on this railroad that are now kind of breaking up and dispersing throughout the town for the night. Noteworthy, I think, Barnaby, you notice that there are more than a handful of hobgoblins here among the dock workers. They are very quiet and sort of keeping to themselves in small groups away from everyone else. They're all dressed very similarly. They have these sort of plain black clothes. Some of them have like a coat, these very simple shoes. And they are just kind of heads down, making their way, into a neighborhood of the town away from the rest of the workers.
I think I might go say hi to them.
Okay, so you just want to head over, say hi to
Yes.
some. All right, so you walk up to a group of these hobgoblin workers. They kind of look at you, kind of look at your clothes, and kind of furrow their brows because you are dressed very oddly to their eyes.
Any of you happen to be members of the Otis family or know the Otis family?
Otis family.
Yeah.
They kind of look at each other. I never heard of no Otis family. Where you from?
All down south, you know.
You from here, in Lato?
More near Hellier. Border.
So you from down south back home?
Oh yeah.
Oh, well. We ain't from there.
Shoot, that explained a little bit.
Yeah, no, we come by way of Kremlcon.
Ah, good old Crammelcorn.
Yeah.
Haven't been there in a while.
He looks kind of perplexed at you.
Since I was a wee shorten.
Yeah, well, what's your name, stranger?
Barnaby Ray Otis III.
Barnaby. Good to meet you, Barnaby. My name is Jason. This is Lorene and Malcolm.
Good to
And
meet all of you.
points to his two compatriots here.
Good to
You-
see our kind out here. I haven't seen too much like myself down here. Know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, we kind of keep to ourselves up here. You come up for work?
I myself, I'm on a bit of an adventure trying to find a man who did me a wrong, get that sorted out.
They kind of look at each other again. Back to you. Well, good luck with that. They keep walking.
Thank you kindly.
As they kind of leave your vicinity, they kind of glance over their shoulders at you, looking kind of furtively at you. Very, very perplexed. You can see them whispering amongst themselves.
Oh, good getting to see my kind again.
Can't.
Actually, I'm having a thought.
Oh?
Well, that sounds dangerous.
I know. I don't usually get these.
Oh, sorry, that was rude.
From where we're at, could I triangulate and figure out how long it would take to get from the docks to where we need to be at?
Where you need to be at is what?
Like where we're headed by boat. 'Cause we're right near the boats, ain't we?
Right, you're on the quay, you're on the wharf, right, looking out at the water. And across the water, you can actually see the lights of a distant city, like bright as fuck on the horizon. It is dark as it gets, except for this one streak of like golden, glowing light on the water. And it looks like it's about 3 or 4 miles away.
All right. So could I triangulate and figure out if that's that's on the way we're headed?
That city is where Freeport should be, from what you have learned over the course of.
That's where we're going.
Yeah, that's where you're going.
Yeah. All right.
That's Freeport.
That's what I was wondering about. Wanted to
Okay.
make sure before I make an ass out of myself.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna holler over to them workers again. Hey, could we anywhere we could get the boat on over there overnight?
You calling out to those guys as they're walking away from you, they look back at you like, no, bro. They're like shaking their heads and they keep walking. Like
Snap his finger. Dang.
they're trying to get some distance.
Well, that thought came and went. There it goes.
Okay.
Figured they'd help out another one of their kind, but I guess not. Guess they don't appreciate family like I do.
Well, your attempt was certainly valid. Maybe next something.
I think Burberry, witnessing this interaction, I think you would catch on that they were probably a little nervous talking to Barnaby and hearing him kind of speak as freely as he was. Like, the more he talked, the more kind of nervous and like looking over their shoulders they got. Like, they were afraid somebody was listening or would see.
Noel.
Yes?
And he kind of he leans close-ish, and he kind of says quietly,
I think there's something going on here.
Like what?
I'm not sure, but something's off.
With Barnaby or with them?
The hobgoblins, I think. They seemed nervous, and not because Barnaby is Barnaby.
Did I pick up on any of this, DM?
I think with Berber putting it out, you probably would be able to put it together. Yeah, like, yeah, they did seem kind of nervous. Like, I think they'd be more welcoming of one of their own.
I don't know if this is a mystery we can solve right now, but thank you for telling me.
Okay. So, you guys will make your way back towards the edge of town, probably sticking fairly close to the coast just so you can kind of see the water and the ships and keep an eye on the ferries when they start moving. Make camp. Sleep soundly for the night. Wake up the next morning to some curious kids kind of like looking at your tents from like their backyard where they're, grabbing clothes off the clothesline. And you guys are able to pack up, and the sun is rising at this point. Make your way back to the quay and up to the ferries where there are a number of different ticket booths basically set up. Small lines have formed up in front of them already, and you can see some of them are boarding, some of them have already departed for their first trip of the day. Get in line for the one that seems shortest and ready to go. A ticket on the ferry is going to cost a certain amount of money, and I need to check
How much is that to DM?
Let me look. I have to
We
open
need that amount right now.
I'm pretty confident it was 5 silver, but we're gonna double check. It is 5 silver. I was right. Okay, so 5 silver for a ticket.
All right.
I guess I can afford that.
All
So-
right.
Cough up your pocket change, everybody, and board the ferry. And
It's not pocket change this early in the campaign.
I'm gonna be
DM.
fucking broke by the time we get to the
Honestly.
bandits.
I already said rations. The rations are as much as the fucking.
a day of food for a trip across the bay. It's cutting down a 3-day journey basically into an hour. Saving you a lot of money.
Rations.
What's the conversion from gold to silver and copper?
It's always 10. So 10 silver to a gold, and copper to a silver.
100 copper to a gold.
Yep. So on the ferry, you guys are kind of like elbow to elbow with the other passengers, but you're able to kind of push your way to the front and kind of watch as kind of pushing through the mist hanging over the bay, the city of Freeport comes into view. And this city is big. Now, Noelle, it's not Aelia big. Aelia is a big ass city, but Freeport is easily the largest city in this area. There are hundreds of ships moored in the water along the waterfront of this city, and you can see thousands of columns of smoke rising up from chimneys all throughout this town. And as you draw closer, you can hear, even at a distance over the creaking of the ship and the rustling of the waves underneath, you can hear the sounds of the city. You can hear this cacophony of voices. You can hear the sounds of industrial machinery in distant factories clattering and clanging. You can hear steam whistles, shouting, calling. As the ferry comes into dock and the mooring line is thrown out, you catch sight of little newspaper flunkies, holding up their papers and waving around, trying to sell off copies. Um, big city, lots of people, like just super super crowded as you disembark here. Um, but you were back in Freeport, Aloran,
I do agree.
after months away.
I am surprised that you didn't just swim across.
Yeah, he says this to Aloran.
Sorry, I'm thinking.
It's fine.
Um,
Although I suppose the boat could have got a little faster than your swim speed, whatever that may be.
yeah, I wasn't in a very I wasn't in the best shape.
Mm,
First thought was to get out of land and try to help find some help.
I think she means more right now instead of paying
Yeah.
for a ticket.
Uh,
Wait, what?
You could have just swam across the bay instead of buying a ticket on the boat.
Oh, I actually did think about that.
You did get a couple of weird like looks from some of the other passengers, like I've never seen a Triton pay for a ferry ticket.
I didn't know I could not do that. Can I swim across the ferry and not pay the 500 silver?
Do you want to
Yes,
retroactively?
please.
Okay.
Yes, please.
We're-
Mr. 5 silver for a fucking raft.
We're early in the campaign, so I'll allow it. So yeah, as you guys are disembarking, Aloran, you see like two big like fishy hands like onto the pier. Like Aloran hauls herself up, pushes herself onto the pier. And beside her are like a handful of other Tritons who are also like making the crossing in the morning. Not an uncommon practice around here. So you have regrouped on the pier of the Iron Wharf, which is the south-facing waterway of the city, or waterfront of the city. So, what do you guys want to do?
Lead the way, Lauren. We're here for you.
Follow me. They
Gotcha.
lead them to the.
All right. So, making your way into the city. It's been a minute, but you remember the path. Pushing your way through this pretty densely built industrial district. You quickly find yourself in a pretty well built up sort of downtown area. You cross this massive, like 6-lane street, like huge main thoroughfare, shops lining on either side. Further down the road, you can see it kind of opens up into this large square. There's a number of tall, very impressive looking buildings, inns and taverns in that area. But you kind of keep going past this and make your way towards sort of the southeastern waterfront of the city, and you pass into a region called the Angler's Wharf or Angler's Landing, excuse me. And on the waterfront of this pier, it's kind of a twofold area. You've got kind of on one side of the wharf, you have a huge, varied like fishing fleet docked in the marina there. On the other side of this wharf, you have all of these like big, impressive riverboats that have been set up and tied up and set up as like casinos and venues of all kinds. Like that part of the wharf is very quiet right now. The fishermen are getting all their shit ready, and on the far end of kind of the fisherman's marina, there is this pretty. I'm not going to say modest, but it's definitely not as imposing as the guild hall, say, in Helmfirth was. It's 3 stories, and it's sort of this 3 segmented building. You have kind of the central entryway and like foyer, and then these two, side wings on either side of it. Fairly modern looking building. It's a mix of like stone and wood construction, lightly colored with like these kind of pale, almost mint green accents along the roof. Lots and lots of greenery planted out front, like very well kept grounds, and kind of milling about. There are a large variety of peoples, all of them uh, dressed in not really a uniform of any kind, but they all have this one sash somewhere on their clothing, similar to the one that Aloran has, kind of as like the first layer of her skirt. This sort of like oceanic colored, almost shawl, kind of denoting their membership in the Wardens of the Emerald Coast. And Aloran, you kind of lead your party up to the front door and inside, and you're kind of back in the hub here, the Green Keep, it's called. So, who are you looking for exactly? Do you just want to find anyone right now, or do you want to find someone specific?
I think I'm just gonna kind of survey my surroundings and see if I see anyone before I like.
Okay, go ahead and give me a perception check then.
I got not enough.
Dirty 20. Got it. So with a 20, looking around, you see a lot of familiar faces. People that you've trained with, people that you recognized from the brief time that you've actually spent in the keep. And you do catch sight of one person making their way across the foyer with kind of a number of subordinates in tow. He's this tall, red-skinned, almost like a wine-colored skin, tiefling man with this long braid of gray hair running down the back.
I would like to try to avoid him.
Got it. Okay. So you see him. He kind of makes his way down. Let me actually. Oh, he's way too wrapped up in his own shit. That was a 1. He does not notice you. He's making his way from one wing to the other, just crossing the foyer. He's gone. Like, not even a second thought to your presence here. As you're kind of standing, taking in everything, another Triton is actually going to walk up to you guys and be like, hello, can I help the lot of you?
Yes, hello. I'm here to report to Azuk.
Azuk? Oh, I believe he's actually speaking with the conservators right now. Could I get your name? Maybe I could let him know that you're here.
Lord.
Ogalath. You see the eyebrows raise. You should come with me, actually. It's good news, I promise. He does actually get kind of a faint smile on his face, and he very hurriedly kind of turns back towards that left wing that the tiefling left.
Should we come too, or should we wait here?
May my friends join me, or is it more of a...
It's certainly up to you. But hurry.
Okay, follow me, let's go.
Sure.
He is already making his way down the hallway, and he's saying, they're going to be very relieved to see you, trust me. Yeah, right in here. And he opens one of the doors on the left side of this hallway, and he says, as he steps inside, you will never believe who just walked in. And as you follow this Triton inside, Aloran, you find a number of familiar faces assembled in this room. All of you see several Tritons seated in this what looks like a meeting room that's kind of been repurposed. Like the big central table has been kind of pushed to the side of the room and turned over on its side to free up more floor space. Chairs are sort of scattered around in kind of circles. There are some cots that have been laid out. What looks like a dining table that's been set up and has not been cleared yet from the morning meal. And seated in some of these chairs are these Tritons. One of them looks like an older, slightly more haggard-looking Aloran.
I'm going to just like dash at her and scream, "Mother!"
Oh my God, Aloran!
And I'm crying.
So you just like throw yourself at her, and she almost freezes for a moment because she's like in shock at what's happening. Kind of starts to set in, and you all see like the tears start to well up in the eyes. Her arms close around you. Oh my God, my girl! And she just kind of buries her head in your fins.
Yeah.
And just like the body starts to shudder just a little bit. As soon as you've done that, another voice is chimed up like, "Holy shit, Aloran!" And a much younger Triton, about your age, has now like thrown herself at this loving embrace and like wrapped herself around you like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're alive. I can't believe you're fucking alive. Holy shit. Holy shit."
Is this what it's like to have siblings?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm not. I can't hear what they're saying.
Yeah, you are.
No, that's all you got.
And yeah, it, like, not just these two chieftains, but there's also another, like, 3 or 4 other Tritons in the room, as well as a couple of other figures. There's like a half elf off to the one side, and there's a human who looks like hell, just like beat to shit, like very heavily bandaged and bloodied, who's just like reclining against a far wall, who kind of just raises a hand at you without getting up. You think you recognize him, yeah, but you're not sure because again, there's a lot of bandages.
Should, sir, would you like some healing?
I wouldn't say no to more.
Yeah, all right, yeah, I can help with that.
So Burberry's gonna go and cast some cure wounds on him.
Okay. So this guy, you kind of walk up to him, and you can see he has been tended to with. You see evidence of magical healing that's been performed on him, and he's still not fully recovered. You can see, like, whatever this guy went through, it is like nakedly obvious to you. Like, he should not be alive. But you do a cure wounds on him, and you see some of the color return to his face, some of the bruising clear up. He kind of breathes a little easier. It's very kind of you, thank you.
You look like you got taken in by the wrong end of a megalodon.
That's what it felt like. Oh God.
I'm actually gonna do that twice for the cure wounds thing.
Okay. So cure wounds.
It's not much because I'm.
It's still kind of you, and yeah, he does kind of like adjust in his chair a little bit. Or his seat. He's not really in a chair. He's kind of leaned up against the wall on the floor. He's like, "Oh, that's really nice. Thank you." He kind of stretches one shoulder a little bit. It's like, Ooh, yeah. Kind of settles back into against the wall. Yeah. Eventually, Yoslin, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah. She will kind of pull herself away from you and look into your eyes and be like, "You were gone."
When I woke, everything was crushed. Everything was gone. I thought you were under the rubble. I checked the house and I couldn't find you.
We were
I couldn't find anybody.
flung away from the village when it pushed past us. The wave it created was immense. Where you were, where anyone was. The only thing we could think of was to just make for sure. We found some others we were able to band together. She kind of looks over to the half elf. He shouldn't be alive. It's a miracle.
Thankful that any of us are alive.
Yes, well. Good to see you, Lauren. You hear one of the Tritons watching kind of chime out, this older, very like wizened looking individual.
They're just I guess. I'm glad to see that you are okay. Sorry for what happened.
You should be. He's just gonna turn away.
I just kind of ignore him. I don't.
Yeah. So there's just like, listen to him.
Yeah.
Dick. Oh, fuck, I'm so glad you're alive. It has been a real mess this past couple of weeks. We only just got back. Yeah, like a week and a half ago, I think. They've been scrambling around here trying to figure out if there are any other survivors, sent out boats looking for people. I did. What? Lauren, they're probably going to want to talk to you soon. You're the first person to come back since we got here.
Yeah, I figured as much. I tried to head straight here whenever I was recovered enough to make good time.
I'm glad you were able to make it.
I'm glad that you were alive as well, and I embrace her. Give her another hug.
She cheers up. I think at that point there was a knock on the door. And you see standing there, the Triton who had brought you in had kind of pushed past the party and like left again. And he's returned now, and he has a human with him. This taller, shaved head with like a chin strap beard. And he's got his kind of warden's sash kind of wrapped around him, almost like a sari. But underneath it, he's got pretty durable looking work clothes almost. And he kind of pokes his head in around the party and says, "I heard we had another survivor come back.
Yes.
It's good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
I take it you're well enough to have made the trip. Do you need more time to rest, or do you think you have a moment to spare?"
I can spare. My friends have helped me get through this, and then I'll make introductions real quick so that they're not just standing there.
Oh, sure.
Big.
Okay,
Yeah.
so go ahead.
So this is Barnaby, Burberry, Noel, and John.
And the room will just kind of greet all of you, like, "Hello, hello, hello." This chorus of voices. So Aloran's mother will stand up. She'll say, "Thank you for bringing my daughter back to me. My name is Yoslin. This is Cern and her father, Nilgus." And she'll point to the younger Triton and the older man who joined in. And this man, she'll gesture to the bald man who just walked in, is Conservator Mirren. He, Conservator Mirren. You roll a history check for me, real quick. Ooh, okay. You are familiar with Conservator Mirren. He was the same rank as your father. Worked closely with him. And you have interfaced with him a number of times at this point. He's never been like a direct superior of yours, but he is one of the senior members of the Wardens here. And he is pretty well regarded as a level head and a patient individual to work with. So, if you do have time, then I'm sure the steward and the other conservators would very much like to hear from you. Whatever you can share about what happened.
I guess I'll probably say my farewells and tell them.
Okay. So, your mother will definitely wrap her arms around you again and be like, we'll be here.
Squeeze and be like, I'll be back.
And Mirren will lead you out to the hallway and down, back through that foyer, down towards the far wing. And to the end of that wing, he will turn into a doorway on the left-hand side and step inside and say, "Well, you'll never believe who just turned up." And leading you inside, you find yourself surrounded by a group of 5 other individuals. There is a couple of elvish-looking figures, a tiefling, the one you recognize that had just crossed the foyer, an orc, not Azuk actually, and a oh shit, I didn't write that down. Where is it? A sea elf. So 3 elves. And one of the elves, fair skins, dark haired individual. He actually has a little bit of scruff on his chin, which is unusual for elves, since he might be half elven. He kind of gestures to a seat. He says, "Well, Lauren, it is good to see you back. I think it's time we got some answers. Is there anything you can tell us about what happened on that expedition? We would very much like to hear it." I think we are going to call it there because it is 11:50. So, next time, Lauren, you've got some explaining to do.
All right.
Good session, yes.
Yes.
We will call that a session, guys.
That was
So-
RP heavy. That was good.
I like that. RP heavy instead of combat.
Thanks.
Love
I
RP.
also like combat, but RP's good too.
I like RP.
I love RP.
So, support points. Support point.
I think everybody has supported each
That's fair. I think everyone gets a point with Lauren for supporting that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Get it, girl!
John, you got any strong feelings about who touched base with you today? I feel like Noel was a pretty strong presence.
We talked to the
And-
guildmaster together.
Yeah. Tenzin, you were gonna light on fire, you fucking goon.
So I have a couple scenes with Barnaby.
Who's
But
that?
I also had a scene with Burberry as well.
I
true.
noticed the Burberry one for sure.
I'll be honest, as heavy as this session was, RP was, I'm kind of inclined to say everyone should just get a point with everyone, because this was like real mixed up.
You're saying another.
No, just like everyone should get 1 point with everyone else.
Okay.
I genuinely could not keep track of like every single one. There was enough that it was like this was
I
a
ain't complaining about 3 points. Won't hear me complain at all.
As far as MVP goes for inspiration, not really a lot of combat.
No.
So
My vote is for Burberry because Burberry was in a lot of scenes and pushed things forward.
I vote for Burberry.
I would agree.
Thanks,
Gerald for preserving his virginity.
take your inspiration.
Thank you.